Women bring forth life. Men plant the seeds. Okay? So,
if you want, man, I remember I used to go out with I used to take an ugly chick out with me on purpose. Just get other chicks.
A lot of these women choose men who are weaker or choose men who are fuckboys and then complain about the very same attributes.
And all this other shit.
Doing something, you gotta be careful about that. Say what's right on them. Trying to steal another idea. Stealing another idea, tell the truth, ain't you?
Nah, I just came up with that idea.
It has nothing to do with that.
Welcome back. We are back in here, man. Another episode on the JVJ Network, even though I got it running over on Let's Talk with JVJ. Everybody over here better get on over to the JVJ Network. If y'all are not subbed up over there, make sure y'all go over there and sub too. I will actually put the link in there just for everybody, even though it's in the description. The link is literally in the description, y'all. Everybody know this is the JVJ Network night. I run it on both just so we can get more people up in here. That's how we do that. But hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me go ahead and get this link in here real quick, so everybody can slowly transition their nice, wonderful, helping the brother out sales over to the right. The right. I don't know who the hell trying to call me right now. No. Y'all didn't see that. Ain't nobody trying to call me. See, let me copy that real quick. How everybody doing tonight, man? I hope everybody feeling fine. I hope they had a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate that type of stuff. I hope y'all do. Oh my God. Stop calling me. Dear God, I'll call you back. You can't even turn off your Facebook calling stuff. They'll call you anyway. Y'all. Can't call me right now. Papa busy. All right, here y'all. Got the link in there for y'all. Boom, boom, boom. Got Alexis up in the building. Shout out to you, Alexis. What's going on, girl? And yeah, we're gonna get into this, man. If y'all saw the thumbnail, you see the title up top. We're gonna break down a conversation between the Candace Owens and Cornell West. The topics that they're gonna be speaking on tonight, y'all, is sex, slavery, and America's past. So I thought that would be an interesting dive right there. Because you have people that are conservative in here, you got people that are liberal in here, and we're going to see the differences between the two, and what's actually, it's going to be a big issue for a while. A lot of people don't want to be categorized either way. I'm kind of one of those people in that boat, but when that time comes, because I got to watch maybe 5-10 minutes of this shit, so I saw a little bit of it, but I'm not going to spoil that for y'all. But for everybody that's in here, man, please make sure you do your boy a favor by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe if you haven't. I got my boy Death Note up in the building. He was lost, but now he is found. There he is. He said, F Thanksgiving. Hey man, did you see my Thanksgiving video, man? I thought it was funny. And then we got Red up in here. How was that stuffed alligator? Didn't have none, man. Didn't have none. Had some stuffing though. Shout out to Red. And then Alexa says, when that hotline bling. Yeah, hopefully this person pick the phone up when I get done. Get done with the live, because yeah, we're gonna get through this. This is more important to me right now. But look, y'all, let's get into the conversation between the two. I respect Cornell West, Candace Owens. I agree with her from time to time, but honestly, I don't like her, to be honest with y'all. But Cornell West, he get on my nerves too, because these intellectuals didn't do a lot of the shit they were supposed to do in the community. But you know, I have feelings about both of them. And then Devno said, Negro, I wasn't lost, but I am getting back to my norm. Hey, look, man, I'm ready to see you back at your norm. I just thought you didn't like nobody no more, man. That's what I thought. Same thing for Red. I ain't seen Red in a couple days. Didn't think he like nobody. I even played Red's beat on the show during one of the videos. He ain't even say nothing about it, man. I just don't know what's going on around here today. But look, y'all, we gonna get into this, man. Let's have this conversation on this shit, man. Let's see what they talking about. Oh Lord, I got too many windows open here. Close that window down. Let's try this one more time. Here we go.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the hub. I'm glad to have you back, Cornell. I'm glad we finally got you, Candace.
Thanks for having me.
Now, obviously, we have both of you here. You had that fight on Fox. Both black, one right, one left. Obviously, the first question is going to be sex. Sex in 2019. Like, I rarely discuss this subject on the show, but I wanted to come sort of sideways with you guys on this. I couldn't imagine being a 20-year-old girl right now, or even a young man in college, with the culture we have today of Me Too and feminism. And I'm at the point now where I think it might be killing romance, because with all this constant need for uber consent, how do you court a lady anymore? Like if you were a 20-year-old man.
Well, I'd have to really use my imagination, brother. That was a long time ago. I can tell you that. No, but it's two things. One is you got the art of intimacy, which we're losing. So that the notion of being vulnerable, the notion of surrendering as opposed to just resigning or dominating, that's being lost. My generation, it was Otis Red and try a little tenderness.
Right.
These days, it's more say my name, say my name, say my name. Very different orientation and disposition. You see. But on the other hand, you've got all of the policing that takes place. And so it's hard for people to really allow themselves to be themselves. And you can't really have a serious relationship if you're just posing, posturing, wearing a mask.
Yeah. Well, you were in D.C. You just met a man, happily married. I met a million Trump girls in D.C. I used to do a show there.
Trump girls!
They were all having a lot of trouble finding a dude. And you thought, if this was 50 years ago, you wouldn't have women's political beliefs affecting their love lives.
Right. I mean, I think first and foremost, what we're seeing now is not feminism. It's something that's morphed into, I call it toxic feminism. They're pretending to be feminists, but it's not that at all. And it is scary for men to want to date. And the irony is that these toxic feminists, or modern feminists, whatever you want to call them, third wave feminists, are creating men that they don't want to date. They don't want men to act like they have their tails in between their legs. That's actually, there's something that is very unnatural about that, seeing men like that. But we have a culture and society that's sort of promoting it. I mean, I'm staunchly against it. And I think, the Me Too movement is something that I spoke out against instantly. The concept of just convicting men, absent any details, seeing things trend like #BelieveWomen. I mean, these are the sorts of things, and I'm correlating this to they can make me think of DC and the Christine Blasey Ford stuff, like just believe women. That's a scary thing. I mean, that's literally how Black men got lynched.
Right. Yeah.
That's literally what happened to, they got lynched. Just believe the women. This was the allegation, and go out after them. So I will never promote that sort of an ideology. There should always be facts. And that's something that we're seeing sort of disappear today.
For you,
I'll let him get it.
you would agree, of course, that there ought to be mutual respect.
Of course.
There ought to be accountability, and there ought to be reciprocity in that regard. Oh, no, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. There should be accountability.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see that they came to a happy reciprocity, man. You got to have some reciprocity out there, man. Now, something that got me. Candace, if you're gonna go down that aisle, if you're gonna go down that road and say that's why men were lynched, that wasn't the only reason dudes got lynched, but that did play a part. Like you should have brought up Emmett Till or some other stuff like that. But yeah, I get the point that she's coming from because I agree. A lot of these dudes, well, a lot of these ladies are raising these boys, and they don't like them boys. They raising the men that they don't like. Now, do men play a part in that? Hell yeah, we already know. We gonna have to own our shit regardless. We don't get that get out of jail free card bullshit. But I get where he's coming from too. Also, all that, like the words that I don't think we need to have to say. I don't think I have to say that I'm respecting somebody for me to respect them. Because I think respect should be a basic thing across the board, and the person can either garner more from you or they can get less from you. Like you act like an ass, I got less respect for you. You act like a grown ass adult, you carry yourself in the right way, you handle your business, you keep your word, you're gonna get more respect from me. So I don't get why they throw that shit in there, but that is a problem. That is a problem. Like this feminist movement, and honestly, they're misanders. Which I don't know why she doesn't call them misanders. That's what they are. They're misanders. They hate men. Those ladies that talk all that shit, they hate men. They want to be in a position of power where men serve them. And I guess it could work, man. You know, the people at the top do the less amount of work, make the worker ends do it also. I don't know, man. They want that B mentality. Let me see. We had a few people get up in here. We had Angry Snowman in the building. I ain't seen this man in 7 years. What it do? He said, hey, to Red. He also said Cornell West is a old bigoted racist. Okay, look, hey, coming out swinging, man. Coming out swinging. Red said Gavin is the GOAT. Okay, I'm guessing the guy behind the bar is Gavin, because I've never seen this guy before in my life. And then Red said, what's good? And Snowman said, what's up, Jay? I see you on that other profile. I was like, I know this ain't a troll. But here you go, y'all. Let's keep going. Let's see what they got.
Absolutely. The left is primarily responsible for this. They start out with a concept that sounds good, like rape is bad. Let's stop sexual assault. You go, I agree with that. And then they keep pushing that until they've kind of killed it for both sexes. Until, like, I heard about this thing where you have this consent app and you both list what's going to happen sexually together. And then you both sign it.
I've never heard of that.
And you're like, that's what prostitutes.
You heard of that before?
I have heard about that. And the crazy part about that app is that even after they have sex, the woman is allowed to revoke consent. So she could have consented.
Oh, really?
And then you can wake up in the morning and decide that you no longer consent. And this is what I'm talking about. It's real.
Then what's the point of the app? They already do that in their day-to-day lives. Like, what's the point of the app? If you're gonna allow them, like, the app should be the agreement, the damn NDA, the whatever the hell, the non-disclosure. Yeah. That's what the app is supposed to be there for. If they still letting you opt out after it, what's the point of having the app? What, like anybody that's using the app, I never heard of the app, but if they, I wouldn't be surprised, man. They got apps to let people know when they ovulating and shit. So, okay, but what's the whole point of the app? If you can, first off, it's gonna be awkward and it's not gonna make sex fucking good. Like, who the fuck wants to write down, yeah, girl, I'm gonna bend you over my bed, move my socks out of the way, and take you back up. She's like, okay, I'm down with that, and you're gonna lick my toes, right? Like, who the fuck would want to go and have sex after that? That would kill the mood. Nah, man, people just need to get to the point of understanding, like, yes, we push those issues of rape and all this other stuff. SA, those issues have been pushing. Those always will be something that we all need to take seriously. But to take it to the level that it is now, because you have a lot more women just making up shit about dudes. That's the problem. Like, you promoted it so much and pushed it like it was just happening to everybody. I have so many women that I see on the internet that talk about they were abused in a relationship. And when you let them talk about what actually happened, when you make them actually tell you exactly what was happening in a relationship, they just weren't getting their way. Now, I'm not going to say that's all women. Hell no. You're not hearing me say that's all women, but I've seen a lot of women where it's that. A lot of people talk about abuse like somebody's, first off, when somebody says abuse, you automatically think that somebody's putting hands on somebody. Like, that's the first thing. All that. He was abusing you. Okay, we automatically think he hitting you. Like, real shit. That's what we automatically go to. And that's why when you hear the word feminist, we automatically go to these misandrous motherfuckers. Well, now, for the people on the left, when they hear conservatives or Trump supporters, some shit like that, they go to straight racists and shit. They go to the KKK and shit like that. We got to get out of these labels. These labels kind of put us all in a box where these type of conversations are hard to have. makes it very difficult for us to be able to talk to each other when you automatically have a preconceived notion of another group of people just by a title. And we need to get away from that. Let me see. Hold on. I had a couple comments coming here. Snowman said, nah, my main channel got taken down. This is now my new channel. What you do over there, man? Got Wally in the building. What it do, Wally? Red said, Gavin is a guy that was on Fox that said, you're miserable. You'd be much happier at home. Is that the guy? That don't look like the guy. That don't look like the guy. Well, here you go. I have to look at him again. That don't look like him, though. But I remember that guy. Yeah, that shit was funny. And then Alexa said, facts. All right, y'all. Let's keep getting into it, man. Let's get into it, man.
Really scary stuff. And what I always tell women when I speak to them is I try to remind them that men are not dropped off by the stork. Like they're our sons. So we're creating a society that our sons can't thrive in, that our fathers can't thrive in, that our brothers can't thrive in. So I always use my platform to speak out against it.
Well, this trick of using the nice verbiage to make the things sound justified. You see this with Antifa, where they say we're anti-fascist. What, you're against us? All right, you're pro-fascist. Or even with Black Lives Matter, you go, well, I don't think cops are racist. I didn't say that. I said Black Lives Matter. Are you against Black Lives Matter? Well, then you're against Black lives. You're saying they don't matter. Even pro-life and pro-choice.
You just took my point.
Yeah, you end up being anti-life and anti-choice. And it's rhetoric that's used to trick you.
Well, part of it is, we live in a culture where these categories and labels tend to reduce each and every one of us to just
I just
one
said this shit, man.
Small aspect of who we are as human beings. And so the richness of who we are and the contradictions that we all are, the incongruities that we all are, you see. All of us are shot through with all kind of incoherencies. That's what it is to be human. But you get one label, reduce just one particular aspect, and then you can use that as a weapon to go at folk, you see. And so, the examples that you give, the Me Too movement, it can be reducible in such a way that you end up overlooking the complexity of relationships, but you want respect, accountability, and answerability. And Antifa, there's nothing wrong with being anti-fascist. Fascism is an evil, right? We know it's an evil. We all ought to be anti-fascist in a fundamental way.
I think we all are.
Well, no, you got fascists in the world.
Who? Oh, in the world, in America. Give me an American fascist.
Oh my God! Yeah, neo-Nazi parties are fascist.
But what percentage of the American?
Oh no, it's a small, very, very small. But I mean, there's such a thing as fascists in America.
Sure.
And then you've got a spectrum, because I mean, there's a spiritual fascism inside of all of us, in terms of what Augustine called the libido dominante, which is the lust for domination. And as a Christian, I could see it inside of myself. I can see it inside of every human being. Sin, a gangster proclivity resides inside of us. That is a kind of spiritual fascism. But political, economic fascism, institutional forms, we don't have a fascist party. But we got people who have deep fascist sensibilities. I'm going at Brother Trump on this in terms of when you actually attempt to engage in forms that are swerving outside of the law or suspending the law or demonizing vulnerable people, those are quasi-fascist sensibilities. But fascism as a whole ideology, we don't have a wholesale fascist ideological movement. But we've got some elements of it. The Klan had deep fascist sensibility. Would you agree with the Klan was deeply fascist?
Absolutely, and we have to remind ourselves that the Klan, they were Democrats, and I was actually going to make the argument that I see the Democrats actually they have a lot of fascist.
Look, this is what she give me. This is what she give me every time. Like, that wasn't what they were talking about, girl. That was like, look, yes. Look, a lot. Look, I will go back. I'll play that one more time.
Fascist sensibilities, but fascism as a whole ideology, we don't have a wholesale fascist ideological movement. But we've got some elements of it. The Klan had deep fascist sensibility. Would you agree with the Klan was deeply fascist?
Absolutely, and we have to remind ourselves that the Klan, they were Democrats, and I was actually going to make the argument that I see the Democrats actually they have a lot of fascist tendencies. And just in talking about the fact that I cannot go to a college campus and speak about the fact that I'm a Black conservative and talk about why I believe in conservatism for Black Americans, why I love Dr. Thomas Sowell, why I believe that the economics, a wonderful man.
And I think he's wrong on a lot of things, but he's a brilliant man. Go right ahead.
I think he's right, but you can think that, and we can both sit here and we can have this conversation and have an argument, and we do that.
Absolutely.
But the fact that he can go to a college campus and show up and he won't be met with Antifa protesters, right? And people trying to shut down his speech and threaten the event, and the university demanding that you pay for an absurd police presence that no one could really afford to put together. That's how you censor me. That's how you shut me down. So to me, that's institutionalized fascism that we see every day on the left. You will never see that on the right. You'll never see any place that you go as conservative. You will be welcomed. You might say, hey, I disagree with him, but I want to hear his ideas. So I think this dialogue, I think it's important so that people can determine who they actually think is right. If we don't talk, they're not getting a fair determination.
And I resent that isn't accepted as a truth. I mean, the understanding from a lot of
it can't be a factual truth, because you can't say that there aren't conservative spaces that you can't go into. Like a highly super uber liberal type person, there are spaces that you cannot go, man. Like, come on, stop playing. Like, they out here playing like they don't have the same problems. Now, I will say the people on the left, they be taking that shit a little too fucking far. Like, just because you talk about being the party of or the group of tolerance, understanding, accepting, but then when somebody doesn't agree with one of your stances on something, you're not tolerant, you're not accepting, you're not understanding. So you're a fucking hypocrite. Like, let's not act like you can't go. Like, see, I can give y'all both of them. They both full of shit to me. But you can't act like there aren't Republican spaces that super Democrats can't go into, bro. Like, we're not gonna sit there and say that. We still got night downtowns around here. I don't know if any of y'all know about night downtowns. We still got those. They got a cool storm up in the building. I ain't seen this person in here before, but yep. Said, she talking right back to dumbness. Okay. And then said, Cool Storm said, shout me out, bro. There's only 11 people in here. You got a shout out, man. We on 2 different channels, man. I really want everybody to click that link, y'all. I put the link for the JVJ Network up top. I want y'all to go over there and watch on that and sub up over there. I'm just got my main channel up to bring people in, but I want to funnel all y'all on over there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna link that shit. I'm gonna link that shit down low. And then Cool said new subbing. All right, appreciate that. Said thank you. Snowman said they call sundown towns. I don't know what the hell sundown. What I said? I said moon down. I don't know what the fuck I said. Leo, you knew what I was talking about. Let's get back into it, y'all. Let's get back into it.
Maybe half the country now is that there's places that Cornell West would go to do a talk, and there'd be Nazis outside Sieg Heiling trying to prevent them. And that's just absolutely not true. Those 12 guys are not touring the country trying to stop liberal talks.
But I think
12 guys. Oh, I gotta go back. 12 guys. He said 12 guys. Hold up.
That isn't accepted as a truth. I mean, the understanding from a lot of maybe half the country now is that there's places that Cornell West would go to do a talk, and there'd be Nazis outside Sieg Heiling trying to prevent them. And that's just absolutely not true. Those 12 guys are not.
You heard, see, and that's something that gets me with people on the right. You're trying to minimize something like it's not an actual problem. You said those 12 guys as if there's only 12 neo-Nazis in the entire United States of America. Come on, bro, stop playing. Stop playing, man. Like, come on. I don't like when he talked about rhetoric. He talked about rhetoric earlier. Well, be genuine in your rhetoric. Don't do that. You know there's way more than 12 neo-Nazis, racist people running around here in America. Like, we ain't gotta do that. We ain't gotta do that. Think about it. We got at least 12 black neo-Nazis in America right now. I'm just saying. So don't sit around here and play that. You don't play that. We know what we're talking about. Red said, I said hold down towns. Angry Snowman said, you said night downtowns. Okay. And then Red said, it's obviously an exaggeration. You get the point. Nah. Because motherfuckers will hear that shit and literally go, dude, I've heard people literally, they'll say something and they're using hyperbole and the people be like, yeah, that's 100% correct. And I'm like, but you know it's not that, right? And it's like, yeah, they just said it. I agree with them. It's like, no, they're just using that. It's like a metaphor or some shit. And they're like, nah, it's what he said. I was like, okay, that's what we doing. So I'm pointing out, Red. I'm pointing out. I get that it probably was, but you got to be. We having these conversations. Our words matter. Like, hey, we're gonna bring that shit back and say Candace is what we call a field slave. She protects massa. I thought we would have called that house nigga, but same thing too. Either way, keep it moving, y'all. We gonna keep pushing.
Not
Right,
touring the
right.
country trying to stop liberal talks.
But I think one of the reasons is that you don't have a strong right-wing Nazi or right-wing fascist presence inside of the university. The university is very much a place where liberalism is hegemonic. And when you violate certain sensibilities of a variety of different liberals, then they can be intolerant. What you call fascist is intolerant. Going against that grain focuses much more on you. Now, you and I share a deep indictment of liberalism and neoliberalism. You do it from the right, mine is from the left. But because my understanding of the severe limitations of liberalism does incorporate certain elements of it, and you don't have strong Nazi presence in the university. You hardly have strong conservative presence in the university.
You don't have a strong Nazi presence
much
anywhere.
more liberal than they are conservative. No, you do. You got it in Idaho,
in a shooting range in Alabama.
Utah. You got some places in the country that have some white supremacist militia and KKK, and you agree to KKK.
Now, Red, going to your point, you said the point is there aren't Nazis shutting down what's his speech. All right, if that's the grand point, why is he still doing the same shit again right here? We're gonna play again. We're gonna play again exactly what he just said. Like, he's doubling down on saying he's playing that game. Don't play that game.
Liberalism and neoliberalism. You do it from the right, mine is from the left. But because my understanding of the severe limitations of liberalism does incorporate certain elements of it, and you don't have strong Nazi presence in the university. You hardly have strong conservative presence in the university.
You don't have a strong Nazi presence
much
anywhere.
more liberal than they are conservative. No, you do. You got it.
You just heard what he said, right? There's no strong Nazi presence in the United States anywhere.
Yeah. And Idaho,
in a shooting range in Alabama.
Utah, you got some.
At a shooting range now. Remember, he playing the game, man. Come on now. He playing the game. He playing the game. That's all I'm getting at. He playing the game. Like, come on, dude. You trying to minimize it like it doesn't exist. We understand that it does exist. Everybody understands it exists. But you're trying to act like it's just some crazy shit. Like, it's just like, come on.
Some places in the country that have some white supremacist militia and KKK, and you agree to KKK is fascist, right?
Well, I agree with him that I just don't know where it is in this country. So I've been able to travel to 47 countries over the past, 47 states over the past year, and I've not encountered or seen any pockets where I've seen Ku Klux Klan members. Do I believe that racism still exists? Of course, racism still exists. By the way, it's always going to exist. There's always going to be Black people that hate white people. There's going to be white people that hate Black people. But the question of whether this is some organized in our country that has a lot of power, I strongly disagree with that.
Why wouldn't I?
See, her point I can get more down with than the old buddy's point, because like, here you go. You can admit that racism exists in the United States of America. Some people can even go to the point of saying it's kind of institutionalized. It's in a lot of our institutions in society. But people would say racism doesn't have a stronghold in America. Like, I get that it can be a minority of people that feel some type of way. Look, they try to make it seem like everybody's LGBTQ. That's like 7.1% of the population. But guess what? We talk about it like it's big. Like, they're trying to make it seem like one person's trying to make it seem like it's a small issue. I don't think Cornell's tried to make it seem like it's a big issue. He's just saying that it does exist. I think that's what he was coming from. Let me see. Cool said they will continue to deny racism. Death Note said there isn't when you look at the whole. Yeah, the percentages are small. I will always agree with that. Let's see. Cool said they deny it because they're the ones who push it. Ah, shit. Snowman said, Ink Snowman said, nobody denies racism. They only push. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all start arguing in the comment section. They only push back is that there is a neo-Nazi movement that is destroying America. Ain't nobody saying it's destroying America. I think you just added that in because I don't think nobody said that yet. But maybe you watch some other shit that I ain't been watching. There is a neo-Nazi movement in America. Like, we can't act like that. The neo-Nazi movement's almost in every fucking continent, probably besides like Africa and shit, because they, you know, they got other stuff over there. And then Devino said the KKK doesn't make up more than 50% of the U.S., so it's not a majority thing. Yeah, nobody said it was. Nobody said it was. Then the sad part, I don't look. That's clear though. Like, like that would be easy right there to say that though, because like the KKK, who's identifying as being in the KKK? Like, I know where you can find them at. Look, they probably like an hour from my house, but I don't think people's walking around here just out in the open. They kind of shun that shit. People have their own little meetings and groups and shit every day over there. They do their little hunting and military training shit over there and shit. It is what it is. That's when it comes to the titles and the labels. Cool said, angry. I would suggest you look at YouTube videos of Republicans denying racism. Now they have done that. Yeah, there's a lot of people that say that shit don't exist. Herschel Walker said it don't exist no more, but then he said it existed way back when. Too much proof is out there. Red said they are definitely ethno-fascists in North Africa. Yeah, but we talking about the KKK though. We talking about the KKK, Red, not fat, man. Shut up, Red. We talking about the KKK. Stay on topic. And see, Snowman said, if you are worried, neo-Nazis, why you support government funding Ukraine, nothing but real. Now, I don't support that shit. I don't support that shit. Look, I told them, man, let them motherfuckers fight their own fucking battle. But you know, I don't control the government. So, you know, it is what it is. We need to take care of home. I'm all about America first round. This motherfucker, fuck what they got going on over there. But they got to do that because, you know, oil and all that shit. And Russia actually, y'all know Russia produces like majority of the world's fertilizer? Like, we don't ever talk about these things. Like, that's the main reason that, man, look, man, Russia know what they're doing over there. Angry is virtue signaling for displaced whites who believe blacks aim to usurp their presence. And then Cool said, how do you know who supports that war? And then Red said, you said fascism all over the world. I did, but I said maybe not in Africa, though. And then you said Northern Africa. I wouldn't call, well, you could call that fascist, but you talking about the Middle East when you say Northern Africa. And then Snow said, definitely know this cracker does not virtue say. Look, man, we got sidetracked, man. Back to the video, man.
I wouldn't say it has a lot of power. I would say it has a lot of presence. I mean, they have empirical investigations, though, my dear sister, where you've got over 600 and some white supremacist militia groups, some of whom have death threats. And the FBI keeps track of them because the FBI infiltrates them.
Where are they?
I don't know where they are because I don't
hunt them
down.
That should tell you that they're not a presence because we're two black Americans. And we're two black Americans. We should.
I mean, the FBI is not going to be lying. I'm not a fan of the FBI.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of the either. But I'm saying is that if this was something that was so obvious, two black Americans sitting here, I'd be like, I'll tell you exactly where they are because I walk down the street over here. They're in Virginia, in this city, in this town. They meet here on Sundays. Every black American that I ask that says there's a Nazi or a KKK presence, you just go, where? They go, I don't know. I read it somewhere. And I think that's unacceptable.
Well, they often cite this SPLC hate map that looks
the
like
SPLC
post offices.
Hey, y'all want to know a place to not go if you're a black person where they real fucking racist? Hayden, Alabama. Don't go to fucking Hayden, Alabama, okay? You got me right there. Also, do not take your ass to Wicksburg, Alabama. Don't go down there at nighttime if you're a black motherfucker. I'm just trying to let you know. Since can't nobody else give them some of those. Probably because the majority of y'all motherfuckers don't live in the South. Like, they got places up north that I could not tell you about, but come down to the South. I bet you money you can take your ass to Mississippi. You're going to find some places. Don't take your ass to Whitesville, Georgia. You're a black motherfucker because you're going to get fucked up going out there. Like, man, there's places all around the United States, and to sit here and try to act like this shit is not true, like, that's the issue that I have, the downplaying of issues or the over it. Like, he goes, what the left do, they try to act like some shit's just out of fucking control. And the right try to play this shit down like it's not shit. And they do it. They flip-flop that shit when it comes between two different issues. Whatever the issue is, they'll play one side of the field. It's always, I'm over here and I'm over here, and we're going to argue against it instead of figuring out how to get to the middle ground on these topics. But I'm glad that they're having the conversation right now. I am glad they're having that, but that was just some bullshit right there. And see, Devino said, I see 3Ks. Are you trying to say something? Oh, Lord, say, I was waiting for you to point that out. Mm-hmm. And Cool said, right. Defno said, who is this simp? He acting like Angry Snowman, but actually shows up to vids. Okay. And then Red said there are also certain blocks I can't go through in Detroit. I call them moon downtowns. Dude, you can walk through wherever the hell you want to walk to. If you want to, you can. Hey, same thing can be said about these towns. But I don't think you're going to get, like, I don't think you're not walking down there because you think they're going to kill you. I think you worried about walking through there because you think they might rob your ass. And the sad part is a lot of black folks don't, like, dude, black folks don't really get down like that. If you fucking around with them niggas, you got a problem. That's when you got a problem. Because there's a difference between black people and niggas. Now, certain niggas do stupid shit. I wouldn't walk past these motherfuckers. Average black person, no problem. So it is what it is. You see, Defno said, Red, you need an escort. Oh shit, Red from the streets too, man. You see, I said I'm in the building, hit that. I'm black joint for me, fam. I don't know. Oh, you want me to? Okay, hold up, y'all. Gotta get this man his thing, man.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
All right, we back. Let me see. Red said my hood pass expired. Who gave you a hood pass? I'll just fucking with you, Red. And then Cool said me either, and I'm black, laughing out loud. Look, we gonna get back into it, and I'm actually gonna drop the link probably like an hour because I'd rather talk about this, had a conversation with y'all, because right now it's a lot of word games being played. There's a lot of word games being played. And then I ain't really heard Cornell play too much, but he has thrown in his little bits now. Hey, we calling this shit down. I'm the referee around here. I'm the umpire. I got to call balls, and strikes, y'all. Hey, and make sure y'all done came over to the JVJ Network, man. Look, Devno, can you pin that link or highlight that link for me or something? Because I want everybody that's over here on Let's Talk JVJ, transition y'all nice, helpful asses on over to the JVJ Network. Because this is where we normally do these shows at. I just keep that shit up for the first hour or two to bring people in. But I want y'all to come over there. That's where we get down, my boy, out from the Norm 18 and all that. Grace over here just laughing. See, Devno said, I got you. Meet me on, I don't know what that is. And then Red said, Godfather trick. And then Red said, pause. Cool said, are all of you in here, guys? LOL. I don't know. They might not. They might. Cool probably like he's seeing the comments, but he don't see no. Yeah, motherfucker need to get right. Snowman said Cornell is known for word salad, just like Michael Eric Dyson. Man, ain't Snowman. Look, maybe. Let me see. I said, let's get it. So they trying to beef up the problem with the left versus right. And it's annoying that we can never have a real convo to get somewhere. But it looks like Cornell is actually trying. All right, Defno he got the link in there. Y'all click on that link right there to bring you over to the JVJ Network channel. Boom, right to the video. Y'all come on in here, continue the conversation over on that side. He say, Defno said, come see us. He put it in there again. Snowman said, identify as sentient multi-use attack spook. Okay, or spork. Okay, and then Cool says, I'm a female, LOL. And then I'm sorry about that. And then Defno said, okay, Red said Defno identifies as non-binary. And then he said, also move to the JVJ Network. Y'all click that link. By the time I cycle through all these damn fucking these shits on my computer, I'm gonna pin that shit. I'm gonna pin that shit to the very top. But here you go. We're gonna keep running, man. This is I guess it's getting interesting.
I'm on the SPLC list.
No, SPL, tell me what the SPLC is now.
The Southern Poverty Law Center has these hate groups.
They're
and you look at it, and it honestly looks like like post offices. They're everywhere.
And you go, they tried to, but same as true, the Anti-Defamation League will tell you that there are hate groups against black folk, against Muslims, against a variety of different folk, and they've got some data.
But they're
they're also not considered a credible source.
They're not, because they're funded. No, they're not. They're funded leftists. They're funded.
Oh no, Anti-Defamation is not leftist. they're coming at me tooth and
I
nail.
sat in Congress with them, and I'm telling you right now,
they're not left.
if you saw my recent thing in Congress, I was sitting with all of these professors and all of these people that were, and they had no numbers. And they said, well, we don't know the numbers, but we do know that it's happening. So to me, that seems like a means to control Black Americans. This is what I talk about. If this was such a big issue that we had to be worried about it, we wouldn't need an FBI report to tell us. No one needed. My grandpa growing up in the South with the real KKK, he wasn't waiting on an FBI report to tell him that the KKK was.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Did you say that you really couldn't point to a place where these people were at? And then you said growing up with your granddaddy where he could take you back to the South with a real. You said you couldn't point to where it was. Now you pointing to where it is? Come on, girl. Like, come on. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. It's being disingenuous. That's some bullshit. And it's really not a one-on-one conversation. It's a one-on-two conversation if y'all pay attention to what's going on. Now, she can't do that. Like, that's bullshit. I would call it out because I'm like, you just disagreed that fascism and fucking the KKK, neo-Nazis ain't around here. Most of them motherfuckers are goddamn part of the KKK. They racist motherfuckers. Like, and you just pointed to where they at. Now, you saying they died off since your granddaddy died? Or since you grown up or something? Like, what are you talking about, girl? And see, Red said that. Oh, Snowman said that's not what she said, Jay. Oh, she didn't say that? I thought she said that. I would go back. We'll double check that. We'll double check that because I'm pretty sure she agreed with old buddy because I don't think she said it directly out of her mouth. I think she was agreeing with the old buddy behind the bar when he says like, "Where are they?" They were trying to make it seem like they don't know where these people are, and now she just pointed exactly where they are. So I'll replay it, but I know I heard that. And then she is now she is talking now versus then. Okay, so Devno did here. But we'll replay it. How much time has passed between her and her granddaddy? Think about this. We are in America. People are having kids at a young age. Black, white, age don't fucking matter in America. And it's been happening for a long time. So how old technically will her granddaddy be right now? 68? That ain't that damn long ago. They ain't the damn dude. I mean, they still around. We ain't gonna play that like the KKK and all them motherfuckers ain't around. I know them.
That's true.
They were outside of his door, shooting bullets inside. And he was running to the back of his house. So this now we have people that are more fearful, and yet there's less evidence. Except they keep saying that there are reports and there are groups that are telling them. That's what I think we have to step outside of. Fair?
But you got all these different attacks, though, sister, on folk, not just in churches, but people with death threats and so forth, and these folk who supposedly are keeping track on the sources of these threats say that they're not just falling from the sky. There's got to be some networks that are in place.
Well, they say that Candace and I are the networks. They say that Jordan Peterson, Dave Rubin are the networks.
I don't think nobody said Sister Candace is head of any
I'm
kind
on the SPLC list. They put some map on it. They said that I was radicalizing people on the internet. Is it such a radical idea to think that Black Americans can do it without government handouts? Okay, then guilty as charged, because that's literally what I go around and I say.
I was going to say something about this.
Black Americans to do it without government handouts. I am now across the board. They say that I'm radical and I'm poisoning people. They tried to blame me for inspiring a mass shooting in New Zealand, saying that this person got radicalized by my ideas of Black conservatism in America. I mean, they play really horrible stuff. And fortunately for you, because you hail in liberal land, you are a liberal.
Well, I'm not liberal now. I'm a leftist.
You're a leftist.
I'm a leftist. I'm critical. Yeah.
What's the difference in your liberal?
The difference is liberalism, refusal to engage in the critique of capitalism, refusal to engage in the critique of empire and imperial policies, and a refusal to engage in the milquetoast character of the Democratic Party. Liberals are in the Democratic Party. I have a critique of the milquetoast character of the Democratic Party. Okay. When you talk about the plantation of the Democratic Party, I'm with you wholeheartedly. I've talked about the Obama plantation. We can talk about the Clinton plantation and so forth. Now, I come right back and say, there's a Trump plantation too. All of these politicians, all of these parties have their plantations.
Well, I'm not
a party person in that sense.
I don't tell people that I can go anywhere and hear me speak. There's nowhere where I tell people that they should abandon the Democrat Party and go to the Republican Party.
But you got a critique of the Democratic Party, Democratic leadership.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
I do. And Republican leadership as well. I mean, there are people in the Republican Party I still have absolutely no respect, God bless his soul, for John McCain, the Paul Ryan types. I regularly critique those people too, but it doesn't make the headlines, right? So I mean, I critique both. What I advocate for is independence. And particularly government independence and shrinking government. You know, I believe in free markets and a limited government structure. That's pretty much what I believe. And yeah, I'm painted as this horrific monster. I mean, you saw it after our debate. Like we had a debate, and it's like headlines, big explosion. That's not how I felt ending that debate. That's not how you felt. I emailed, tried to get him on the show, but that's what they need. They need to make it seem like we're constantly at war.
Well, you're a huge threat to the left.
Sensationalize. They sensationalize these kind of things all the time for their own ends, for their own gain. No, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. And I think Candace is a threat to the left because she's bringing blacks to Trump. And without...
I'm gonna play that one more time. That shit just funny, man. I'm sorry, that shit is just funny, man.
Sensationalize these kind of things all the time for their own ends, for their own gain. No, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. And I think Candace is a threat to the left because she's bringing blacks to Trump.
Do you not know who Trump got big hanging his ass around? Trump always been close with the blacks. You ain't got to bring no blacks to Trump. The problem, what you should have said is to the conservative right. And the sad part is most black people were conservative for a long time. And most men, once they get older, they become more conservative. But there are things in the conservative party, the right, that a lot of people don't fucking agree with. And it's okay to critique that shit the same way that there are things on the left that people do like, but there's a lot of shit that people can critique. And if we can have these type of conversations and be genuine about it, because we got problems on both sides of this shit. I don't care what nobody say. They can sit over and say one side's better than the other. Don't seem like it because they both do the exact same thing. One group started off the slavery shit and the KKK. Now we got another group that took the mantle of this motherfucker. Like, come on now, let's be real about this shit. They do the same damn shit. They argue against each other, so nothing gets changed. But Devin told Red he need to upgrade. Lexi said, got Hurricane up in the building. Shout out to Hurricane. He said, skirt. Candace looked like a rejected gray alien. Oh, damn, coming out strong. Said, did he say blacks? Yes, he did. And Snowman said, what they need is it. Hold on, let me read it over here. I can't read that shit over there. What they need is for it to seem like black. You can say black, man. Black folks are uneducated and ignorant. It helps them push the white guilt narrative. And we got some uneducated. Look, we got uneducated motherfuckers all across the board in every fucking race. It ain't just black folks. But who you say is pushing that? Is it the left pushing that black people are stupid and slow? I don't think any of them coming directly out the box and saying it. But I see a lot, man. Look. I ain't even going down that road. Hurricane said bringing blacks. They say I'm destroying both. And then Snowman said Trump was actually giving small businesses loans to. Why you keep writing black? You can write black, man. You can write black. It's not a trigger word. Black folks back in the 80s and 90s when the financial institutions were denying blacks loans. Yeah, Trump gave out shitty loans, but he did give them loans. But he did also take out that article in the New York Times trying to get them kids the death penalty, even after the fact they were proven. Well, he tried to get them kids the death penalty for supposedly raping this lady in Times Square or whatever that park is, whatever that big park in New York. I ain't been up there that often. And then after it came out that they were still guilty, Trump on record said they still need to be locked the fuck up. So we ain't gonna talk about that. But let's see, Red said, I know black women who she brought to support Trump. That's what's up. I wouldn't be surprised she has, man. There's money in that. And then Snowman said the entire establishment. Shit. Here you go. The entire establishment is anybody that's a part of it. I'm just telling you right off back. Because once you get in the game, it's the same thing like when somebody gets into the NBA. The way they carry themselves as a normal fucking civilian, they cannot carry themselves that same way. Otherwise, they will lose their money. They will lose their endorsements. They will lose their opportunity to further their lives and their children's lives, their grandkids' lives, and so on and so forth. Same thing if you became a CEO. Same thing if you became a certain manager at certain companies. All of that, once you become a part of that system, dude, you out the door. They're all establishment. I hate when people talk about the regular establishment, non-establishment. They all a part of it. They take donations from all these same motherfuckers that all these other people push. Man, like, come on, man. Look, they all establishment. Every fucking last one of them. I don't care who you talking about. All of them are establishments. They all get money from oil. People talking about oil is bad. Let's go electric. Then they talk about oil. Nah, I'm not even gonna do it. They talk about we don't need electric energy. Nah, I'm not doing it. Nope. Let's keep going. Central Park 5. Thank you, sir. Central Park 5. Central Park 5. Thank you, Alexis. And then Devno say Trump gave loans and didn't collect on many he gave to black entrepreneurs with a legit plan. Okay, if you say so. Let's keep going, y'all.
And without the blacks, he's done forever. Can you maybe explain what Blexit is?
Yeah, so I mean, I started the black exit from the Democrat Party. I mean, we've seen pretty much the same thing. The Democrats, it's undoubtedly have taken advantage of the black vote over the last 6 decades. I mean, that is not, you cannot question that. And any black person in good conscience that sits down and says that the Democrat Party has not taken advantage of the black vote, in my opinion, is a bad moral character. And you have to watch those bad faith actors. To me, Blexit is about reminding the black community that we are staunchly conservative. We are conservative. You cannot untether the black community from our faith. You know, I grew up in a very Christian household. You cannot untether the black community, although the government has systemically attempted it, from the family. I grew up and my grandfather was all about the family. These are largely conservative principles now, as you have the left is advocating really for the disruption of family. Men can be women and women should be men, and kids should pick their gender. And if you Google, this is a real thing, if you Google straight couples, all that returns back to you are gay couples. And they say there's something wrong with you if you believe in the nuclear family. And they're trying to grow government. And we've already experimented with that in the black community. We've seen that more government has earned us more heartache over the last 60 years. You can look at any statistic. Illiteracy rates in Black America, they're not serving us in terms of the Department of the Education. You know that. I know that. The breakdown of families, single motherhood rate at an all-time high at 74%. You know that. I know that. So how can we stand behind people that are advocating for more government? Handouts, $22 trillion into the welfare system. Black Americans, or today, when they started giving out welfare in the beginning. So my perspective is just, we got to try something different. And that something different is getting up off of our own 2 feet, putting our families back together, starting our own businesses. And that is a free market capitalist perspective, which lands me on the side of conservatism.
But you see, exactly. But I think the challenge here is because both of us share a deep Christian faith. Both of us share a profound commitment to not just our family, but our loved ones. And both of us recognize that when the issues of integrity, honesty, decency, generosity, that just cuts across race, gender, sexual orientation, national identity. Those are just spiritual and moral values. But I think the deep disagreement is, and I think Charles Murray and others have pointed this out, that the impact of the market on working and poor parents, no matter who they are, has been devastating. When you've had profits quadrupling at the top and you got wage stagnation for 40 years, how are you going to be able to keep your family together when 2 or 3 of you, when you do work, you still live in poverty? This is where wealth inequality comes in. And see, when you talk about free market capitalism, if we had a free market capitalism, that's one thing. We've got a corporate dominated
crony capitalism.
Exactly. It's crony, it's predatory, 1% at the top. No matter what color they are at the top, even though they're disproportionately vanilla, but we shouldn't have bailed out the banks. We would agree with that. No, absolutely.
We need real capitalism, real free market capitalism, not crony capitalism.
Well, I would just say we need a fair society, whatever it takes.
Right.
But how do you do that? I don't understand.
Well, one is you have to have conversations, to be honest, and put a spotlight on what is not talked about. And if you have taboo issues that you're unable to interrogate and question, then you can't have a conversation. And part of the dialogue is we got this little narrow conversation between a Republican Party, most of which is tied to big money. You got a Democratic Party that's tied to big money, but acts like it's in the diversity and so forth. And by diversity, what they mean is symbolic representation of well-to-do Black and brown and yellow and women folk at the top, when the vast majority of Black people and white and women are catching hell. And they're supposed to live vicariously through the success of these celebrities at the top, you see. And so in that sense, you just have to be honest.
He's right.
It's hard to have a candid conversation about these things.
But that's...
Right, before she go, man, I got my boy out from the Norm 18 on the thing, man. He got the echo. God damn!
I don't know what the hell going. I come right back. I come back.
No, you good. You good? Do you got what? You got your headphones on or something?
Yeah.
Which one? Your regular headphones?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, yeah. I come right back. I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna do it the right way. I come back. I'm still listening. I come back.
All right, I got you. He gonna come back. Let's see. Certified Dusty in the building said, "Who is this imposter?" And then we had Def Note come in and say, "Op with the trash internet, man. Look, you can't be doing them like that, man. You know he just went to cricket. That man bumping that cricket. Either way, I actually agree with what Cornell said. I agree with a lot of what he said, and I think okay, let me see. Does anybody in here that disagree with what he said, put a 1 in the chat if you disagree. Put a 2 in the chat if you agree with what Cornell said. And I'll actually play it again real quick. Like Red said, disproportionately is a certain kind of vanilla. People just start trying to call them white. I don't get why people are afraid to say white and black. Like, stop. Like, I don't know what the hell. I mean, he said, fuck both of us. It is what it. Hey, look, I ain't lying, so you can't tell me to go fuck myself. You do got cricket. People keep telling me cricket work good in Florida. I don't know of that. But look, I'm gonna play what he said one more time. Y'all tell me if y'all agree or disagree. Put a 1 if you disagree, put a 2 if you agree.
Then you can't have a conversation. And part of the dialogue is we got this little narrow conversation between a Republican Party, most of which is tied to big money. You got a Democratic Party that's tied to big money, but acts like it's in the diversity and so forth. And by diversity, what they mean is symbolic representation of well-to-do black and brown and yellow and women folk at the top, when the vast majority of black people and white and women are catching hell. And they're supposed to live vicariously through the success of these celebrities at the top, you see. And so in that sense, you just have to be honest.
He's right.
It's hard to have a candid conversation about these things.
But part of that is our fault. So I take it.
All right. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Does people do people disagree with that? Do anybody disagree with that? I just want to know. Let me see. Definitely said he running off that Obama phone, but mad at us. And then out from the north said, "You from Alabama? You already fucked yourself, cousins, dogs, chickens, hens." I don't know why they keep saying this is not Mississippi, buddy. And then Dev Note put a 2, and then Red said he agrees to an extent. All right. Op gave me a 1. He agreed. And then Grace gave me a 2. She disagreed. No, hold up. 1 is disagree. 2 is agree. So Dev Note said he agrees. Op said he disagreed. Red said he agrees to an extent. And Grace says she agrees. All right. Anybody else want to put their 2 cents in on that before I keep going? Because honestly, they're both doing the exact same fucking thing. They're just doing it in different ways. They both take the money from the same people that dominate the society. You wonder why. Right, think about this. The city government of fucking Flint still ain't figured out how to get these folks some clean water yet. All them fucks should have went to jail. Me personally. There should have been no way y'all could switch y'all water system because it's cheaper. I'm just being honest with you, bro. These taxes supposed to take care of this shit. You already taxing folks. Now you're trying to raise taxes and you ain't doing your fucking job. Like, that's what gets me. We hire more cops and they keep saying crime going up. Motherfucker, this is a money system. That's all this shit is. I saw a case the other fucking day where a motherfucker said, if it ain't a ticket worthy fucking call, we're not going on it because it's just wasting man hours and resources. I was like, these motherfuckers, and I don't blame. At least the motherfucker said it. But I don't know why you put a 3 in there. And then Red said Flint is totally damn run. By the way, dude, they got Republicans in there's no like lockdown state where there are no Republicans or no Democrats. We understand that at the top, the senators, the governors, and all that shit. Yeah, the city council, some people like that. But look, we ain't gonna do that in America because we got shitty ass Republicans. That's the shit that gets me. They talk about shithole towns, shithole, whatever the fuck. There are places in Alabama. Alabama is a red run state. Red run state. You got people that live in trailer parks where their shit is coming up out the fucking ground. Don't sit around and tell me that it's just a Democrat run. No, it's a greed problem. All these motherfuckers are about that greed. They about that money, man. It ain't no damn or left. It ain't no right or left shit. It ain't none of that. We can talk about shitty places on each side of the board when it comes to this shit. You got great ran Democrat towns. You got great ran Republican towns. You got shitty left, shitty right. It's across the board, but we try to sit out here and point out that shit to try to make an argument. That's a bullshit-ass argument. It's a bullshit-ass argument. Devno said Flint is a liberal city. Okay. And then he said just like Chicago, Baltimore, Detroit, D.C., etc. Okay. Fine and dandy with it. What's the point? Like, that's what keep giving me. Like, what's the point? We got shitty-ass cities, shitty-ass states, shitty-ass towns, shitty-ass townships, all that bullshit ran by both of them. There's no fucking difference. There's no fucking difference, man. That's just another way to try to divide us. That's why I said we need to get the fuck away from these labels, man. I would rather vote for somebody on what they're running on than what fucking party they're in. I don't know if any of y'all would be down with that shit, but I would prefer to vote for somebody on what they're going in here and trying to do compared to, oh, they're on the left and they're on the right. Because now, okay, if I'm in this Republican Democrat shit, this motherfucker here to say I'm a Republican, and this Democrat actually got good policies, and I don't want to vote for a dumb motherfucker like Herschel Walker. It's like, oh, I'm tired, man, because I'm a Republican. I'm voting Herschel Walker. No, fuck that. A lot of people vote in their worst interest when they put a two choice system right here. Now, fuck them parties. Fuck them parties, or at least add a third one. Add a third one. Let's figure it out. Joanne in the building. Shout out to Joanne. She said, you're right. And then Red said most states are red states with blue shithole cities. Good damn. Okay. So you telling me there's no shitty cities that are run by Republicans? Right? Yes or no in the chat before I play this shit. Red, go ahead and tell me that. Tell me right now. There's no shitty Republican ran cities, towns, counties, states. Come on. Give me something. Come on. I'll wait on you, Red. I'll wait on you on that one. Let's keep going.
Even above anything else is personal responsibility. So I look externally and say that everything that's happened to Black America is not our fault.
I agree.
Right? We have people that, yes, and this has to do with the breakdown of family. When you remove the father from the home, that's why I'm so strong about dads being in the home. Those kids will pursue that paternity elsewhere. So we're seeing Black kids turn to the streets. They're turning to Jay-Z. They're turning to hip hop, and they're idolizing these people. And these people are taking them in a direction that's not helpful to them. Right. So the majority of the we know, for example, California, 75% of Black kids can't pass a literacy exam. They can't read a book. Right. But if you ask them trivia questions about Jay-Z and Kanye and rappers like T.I. and Killer Mike, they'd be able to come back to you.
Or you can put them in the studio and their intelligence, and some of them have a genius that's undeniable.
Right. So my thing.
Stop funding schools off of property tax. How about that? How can we all just get on board with that shit? We got these kids that can't fucking read, can't fucking write. They can go shoot a basketball, run a football, throw it, fucking go and make the best hit line on a rap song, some shit, go act their ass off, which every kid ain't gonna pick up on this certain shit. But don't fund the schools off of property taxes. If you live in a shitty ass, poor ass town, your school's gonna be shitty and poor too. Start a federal fund across the board that every school will be funded to this extent. This is the bare minimum amount of money that a school can get in the United States of America. And fund it. Fund it. Like, I don't give a fuck. Fund it. They taking our tax dollars already. Fund it. Stop giving all our money to Lockheed Martin and Boeing and all this shit. Stop building ships when we ain't fucking trying to fight nobody right now. Fucking fund it. The kids are the fucking future, right? Put your money where your mouth is. Motherfucker, we put more money in killing people than we do to fucking educating people and making them become a productive person in society. Somebody that can come up with a new invention that can push our society even forward. We don't give a fuck about that. We just worrying about killing folk. And people want to sit around, don't tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, dude. I spent 4 years in the military, went on 2 combat tours. We spend more money trying to kill people in this country. So how about we just fund the schools? Fund the schools. Federal government fund that shit across the board. Let's see, Black Wolf said, people laugh when I voted for Ralph Nader back in 2004. They didn't get it then. They still don't. They still don't now. You see, Red said, federal funds haven't done anything to educate J. Carter schools is the answer. J. Carter schools. Charter schools? I ain't worried about no charter schools, man. I'm talking about public schools, man. And them charter schools be owned by private folks, man. I ain't worried about no charter school. Shit. And see, Devino said they already exist, Jay. They plus up from property tax, but each public school receives a minimum based on state laws. Okay, is it funded by the federal government or is it funded by the state? Help me out on that. Joanne says, solve this homeless crisis in Los Angeles. I know y'all, if y'all stay out in Los Angeles, I know y'all don't like that shit. And on top of that, he go, the people that ain't homeless don't like that shit. And the people that are homeless don't like that shit. I done seen the way some of them homeless folks get treated. And then I see how some of these folks, you spend all this money for this spot. And you gotta look, man, what you see every day affects the way that you carry yourself in life, like how you feel about shit. Like you come home to a messy house, you're gonna have a negative fucking attitude or a negative view about shit, a negative vibe if you want to. You see some clean shit, you walk in your house spotless, clean, fucking smell like lemon pledge and shit. You're gonna be motivated to do some shit. I've seen too many studies on that shit. You see, Red said Alabama education doesn't teach pronunciation. I see. Shut the fuck up, Red. You in Detroit. Don't be talking shit. Look, man, I bet money I probably went to a better school than you did. I bet I did. Let's see. Joanne said it's horrible. And then Devno said funded by both the Fed and state. However, state dictates how much funds are distributed. Now, there we go. We got a problem right there then. And then so laughing out loud. Let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. And I'm going to drop that link in here in a second because I'm probably only going to do half of this shit. I might do a part 2 on this shit.
Thing is that those decisions, like us taking, welfare incentivize that bad behavior in terms of removing fathers from the home. We have to be smart enough and wise enough to understand that and to turn that down. The answer to all of these problems is not more government solutions. You can't say the government did all of this and now we need more government to correct it. That doesn't make sense. That to me is definition of insanity. Trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
But part of it is, though, is that our precious Black brothers and sisters who are poor and working class need exactly what you and I have access to, which is some jobs with a livable wage. They need access to some resources so that their conception of dignity is also tied to responsibility.
Right. But we have to
and
learn.
That's what we haven't been able to do,
right,
for the most part. And even when you generate a lot of jobs, it's not jobs with a living wage. Mm-hmm. Even when you have access to the housing market, it's hard to get the housing that is adequate, especially given the market taking over, the gentrification that's taking place, people unable to gain access to neighborhoods. See, I grew up in a neighborhood. I didn't grow up in a hood. Now, we were broke as the 10 Commandments financially, but it was still a ghetto. It wasn't a hood. It was a neighborhood. You know, Donny Hathaway's Ghetto. When he sings that song, and he and Leroy Hudson wrote the Ghetto, they talking about love, affirmation, as well as poverty, but it was not victim mentality at all. Curtis Mayfield was singing, he's singing about the ghetto in Chicago. He's not singing about a victim mentality at all.
Right.
He's talking about dignity, resilience, and struggle, but you would admit the poverty was overwhelming. That's partly a result of the history of the country. Slavery, Jim Crow, American terrorism, lynching, and so forth, you see. So that the stress on personal responsibility, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
But there has to be some structural realities that allow people to gain access to jobs and healthcare and resources.
And I completely agree with that. And I think that's where my limited government perspective comes from. We have to, this is why I support Trump. Peeling back on regulations, I think, is the most important thing in office. It becomes impossible for an entrepreneur. Like I had cousins that live in the projects who, I want to start a food truck. And then they go and they figure out how they can start a food truck. And there's about 80,000 government regulations and steps preventing them from doing that. So it de-incentivizes them. Now they no longer want to start a food truck. And this is what I love about Trump. So people are caught up in I don't like the way he speaks. I don't like his decorum. I like his policies. I like what he's doing. And so I call myself a Trumplicant. I like Trump. If the Democrats had a candidate that was talking the way that he was talking, then I would vote for that candidate as well. But I think he's the only person that's sort of disrupting exactly what you're talking about and actually presenting more opportunities. And that's a fact because now we have the ever in this country lowest ever.
I like the
you
Trump.
Can say it's not enough money
to
support the households.
We give Trump credit for that.
Right, but you can say there's not enough money to support the households, but that's decisions that are being made. So you're a single mother and you have 3 kids. Well, of course that job is not going to be able to support your household because there are others that you're doing where it's not meant to support a household. One individual is not meant to raise 3 kids by herself.
Though, you tell me what you think. One of the contradictions in terms of any support of Trump is he's got a $750 billion military-dominated budget that goes straight to the big marketeers. Both Democratic Party and Republican Party voted for it. That's not limited government. See, when you expand the military, expanding government.
Okay, so I would disagree with you. So this is when I say limited government, I mean what do you believe is the function?
The function of government is to its citizens.
That's the first thing you just said. So that's exactly, I agree with you 100%. So I'm comfortable.
But that means you're not for limited government to the degree to which the
military
needs to protect us.
No, but that's where I want them to be limited too. I don't want the government trying to raise our children, which is what you and I were talking about off camera. When they step in and they say, now we're going to regulate this, we're going to regulate that. That to me is a government that's overstepping. When they're limited to military, that's exactly what we need the government for, to defend and protect.
61 cents of every dollar going to the military industrial complex, and those oligopolies and monopolies are making billions of dollars, and some of it waste. Would you would agree some of it's waste in the
I don't know why he said billions, man. That's trillions, man. That's $1 trillion industry. And it ain't doing nothing but going up higher and higher and higher. But I'm gonna let him keep talking about that.
Listen to the government. Nothing the government does sufficient. I agree.
If we could isolate it to the 750 billion, and we were all fighting that the 750 billion was too much, that would be a great place to be.
Right.
But I think we're pissed off about all of this other crap.
But it's all
like
the
the trans thing is going to be the end of black support for the left.
I mean,
our precious trans, there's a small group of human beings who are the most vulnerable. They're demonized the most. They have least amount of power.
They're covering in magazines.
They're not demonized.
Everyone wants their kid to be one. It's the hot new thing.
That is the one group that is killed more by vigilantes among our citizens.
Not vigilantes, the gangsters they were dating. They're drug addicts who are hanging out with bad boys. They're dating MS-13 and Bloods and Crips.
And let me tell you why I'm not talking about. They're now trying to make this a rule.
Did they just say MS-13? Look, dude. All right, I need to go hold you, bro. They're taking MS-13 in the Bloods. Oh shit. Tell me how you really feel, buddy. Tell me how you really feel. Oh shit. Red said he ain't lying. All right, man. Look, we keep going. We're gonna keep going. I'm just gonna gloss over that.
School that teachers tell the kids in grade school, we're talking about K through 5, that they're allowed to pick their genders. That's where I have a problem with it. Okay, you live your life. You
got a problem with it too,
God bless you. 100%. I agree. I have never an issue with that whatsoever. Okay, but when you get to the extent now demanding that I now have to recognize people, that a grown man wearing a dress, I have to use my pronouns, or I get fined or go to prison, which is actually happening in states like California. Okay, that's ridiculous. So because I had 2 eyes and I call somebody the correct pronoun, I can get in trouble. Right. And secondly, introducing it into the school system, which is over-sexualizing children at a young age, telling them they can
that's the media and market doing that.
100. I agree. 100% agree.
Money again from the top.
That is when something goes from a personal freedom to infringing upon mine. Okay, I don't have to raise my kids to believe that they can pick their gender because they can't. I feel bad for people that suffer from gender dysphoria. Both of those two ideologies can exist in the same.
Mm-hmm. But certainly we've got to protect personal liberties.
100%. Wear a dress. I say, guys, if you want to go put on a dress.
No one wants to make that leap.
But I mean, it's not. You got the Amish, you got the Mennonites, you got the Baptists, you got different groups in religion, different groups in culture, different Muslims, Mexicans. Make sure personal liberties are protected.
Always.
No matter what.
I agree.
Now, I don't know about this dictate about the teachers telling the students. You're talking about in first grade, second grade?
Yeah, and they're not allowed. They can call them in school. In school, they're allowed to call your son. You could not know your son's going to school, and they could be calling her all day by a different name. They are no longer required to tell the parent, because now they're protecting. And that to me is really crazy stuff. And that's what I speak out against, which gets me earned as a hate monger. And I'm going, do you understand what's happening here? You're confusing children. I don't think about that stuff when I was a kid. I feel like.
All right, look. This is what we can do. This we can do right here. And the sad part, it should have been done a long time ago, but this acceptance shit has gotten out of control. Stop letting them motherfuckers put that shit on TV and any form of expression that is put on the internet, TV, any other ways that people get information, shut it down. Motherfuckers wanted to be weak at the top. They allowed the shit to go down like that. I remember growing up that people that were gay, LGBTQ, any of that stuff, we would know who they are. But they kept that shit to themselves. Like, you would come to work, do your job as Bill during the week. And then, you know, they had a local gay club that you can go to, and you was like a Bianca now or some shit like that. That's fine. And then they do your shit. I'm with Candace when I hear about them trying to put, like, first off, you ain't gonna tell me, you're not gonna tell me what my kid is and ain't doing in school. You gonna tell me every fucking thing that's going on in there when it pertains to my kid. Y'all ain't no secret friendship with no fucking teachers. I don't care with none of that shit. And I hate when I hear these teachers talk about these are my children. No, the fuck they not. And you need to stop acting like it. You need to stop acting like they're your fucking children. Because parents don't always address every issue that should be there. Just because a kid doesn't know. Kids, look, I'll tell you, kids ain't got no rights in my mind. Like, when it comes to like making certain decisions, you don't have the right to do that. Till you turn 18, then you can, 17 in some states, you can go ahead and do what the fuck you want to do. But when you living under my house, my dad was always a firm person on this shit. As long as you live under my house, you do what the fuck I tell you to do. This ain't no fucking democracy. This is a dictatorship in this bitch. And I agree with that shit. I think more kids should have that. Ain't none of this bullshit going to the school. Man, bitch, I remember I quit the football team. My dad came up there and whooped the shit out of my ass. Quit what? I ain't say you quit. Like, it is what it is, man. Like, for real. And I think it made me a better person because it stopped me from quitting. These kids say they want to be a girl. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. No kid should be getting any of that shit. And then on top, man, look, I don't know, man. And you know how before you want to get divorced, they make you go to counseling? Make you separate for a little while. Before a kid wants to do that, send them to counseling. Parents got to go too if they on board with this dumb shit. And we're going to talk about all the negative shit that can come from this shit because you about to fuck a kid up for life. You got to fuck a kid up for life doing that shit. And see, Black Will said, it's all divisive to keep the government in charge. It is. And then V said, you are contradicting yourself. How am I contradicting myself, V? Tell me, write it in the comment section. We're going to keep pushing.
Like 2 years, I thought I was a tomboy. I used to run around. I used to wear baggy clothes, speak with a deep voice. I was in 4th grade because I just thought the boys were cooler. My mom didn't shave my head and call me Michael. Teachers didn't call me Michael. I was still Candace. And then a couple of years later, I went through puberty, and suddenly I thought the guys were cute. Right. And that's what's being disrupted now that they're trying to normalize allowing children to go under hormone therapy when they haven't even hit puberty, or allowing these children to say that they're different people. It's confusing.
That's really going to make the black community snap.
I didn't know about any community. We're not
more black.
White people are more, okay, my son's a girl.
Yeah, no. Black moms,
people
you're not calling my son.
What is wrong with this dude? I ain't happy. Man, get your goof ass up out of here.
I don't have a son yet, but let me find out that some school is calling my son by a name that I didn't give him. Black moms will show up 100%.
I would argue that the whole trans movement is the end of black support of the left. They pushed it too far.
Right.
I think a lot of the left sees blacks as their pets, and they're going to lose their pets. Their pets are going to start misbehaving now.
They do treat us like pets.
No, but when you talk about just as a Christian, for me, I begin with the notion that anybody, any gender, creature with a language made in the image and likeness of God, they have a sanctity. That's why I say precious trans folk. They got the same sanctity that I have, that my daughter, my son, anybody else.
I agree, 100%.
And that's just a spiritual truth that I hold on to, whether it's popular or unpopular. I'm just going down with it.
I agree with you.
But then when you move into society, you see, I don't want any kind of social engineering.
That's what that's what's happening.
You're getting folks saying, okay, this is the only way to go.
That's what's happening.
See, I don't know about that. If I saw that kind of thing, I'd be critical of it.
I'll send you something on it a bit.
But it's so easy to fall into a kind of dehumanizing mode. And I come from a people who've been dehumanized so easily. Black folk, brown folk, poor whites, gays, lesbians, Jews, Muslims. I mean, we got long histories of being easily dehumanized.
Yes.
I'll pause right there. Okay, this is what you was talking about. He said what is happening is a result of government interference, and you want schools to be funded by government. Yeah, I want the schools to be funded across the board at the bare minimum. I don't believe funding it off of property tax. There are good times where I believe the government should be involved in stuff, and I believe there are times when they shouldn't be. Now we can pick and choose. We can sit back and argue all day long about when the government should be involved and when the government should be involved. Because I bet money if I said, well, we should privately fund our military. I'm pretty sure most people say, well, the government needs to be. No, that needs to be government funded. So even though we kind of fund it anyways through everybody else, we're already getting these taxes taken out of our paychecks every damn day, every damn week, every year when we got to do our taxes and shit. Our kids should be able to go to school and learn how to read and write. And if they're not being able to do it by the system that we have right now, then we need to come up with a new system of doing it. My first suggestion, just a suggestion, any of y'all can pick up with a new one, but I think there should be a bare minimum across the board. States cannot dictate this. All schools will be funded to like, $10 million a year, each school. We got the money for it. $10 million for each school. And you can drop it down between high school, middle school, elementary, whatever. Because I know some cities and some states got different schools. You know, you got, I know where I grew up, what was it, K through 6, 7th and, no, yeah, K through 6. Then we had 7th by itself, 8th and 9th together. And then we had fucking 9 through 12. So I'm like, each state got their own shit. But I believe there should be a bare minimum. And it should be, like, man, look, I don't care. Y'all can tell me if y'all disagree with that. But I believe the federal government should be involved in that to a certain extent. And Red said that's not the point. What has the extra taxes ever solved? You got to ask yourself, where are they spending the money? Like that's the whole point of it. I'm not saying extra taxes. I'm not saying tax more than what we're already taxing. We have more. Dude, I've been in the military. When you fucking have a spending budget for the quarter, if you don't spend that money, you're not going to get that much money next year. So people always overspend on bullshit. We have a lot of waste in this country, a shit ton of waste. We need to figure out where the money's going and appropriate it in the right places. I believe the federal government should fund the schools. I don't believe that's a contradiction because I believe there's times and a place for everything. I'm not saying the government should be involved in anything. They're definitely going to have to be involved in a lot of shit. But let's keep going. And I'm going to drop the link for y'all in probably about 5 minutes.
I agree with you, but when we're so determined to be tolerant, we tend to tolerate intolerance, especially from Islam. Like everyone talks about Charlottesville and Heather Heyer, obviously a catastrophe.
Yeah, and I was with Heather just 20 minutes before she died.
You were?
Oh yeah, I was right there.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I was standing right there. The neo-Nazi brothers were spitting on us, telling us off and so. We were singing this little light of mine. You know, I'm not clergy, but they were clergy. I'm just Christian. I'm a layperson. And we were right there, and Heather was right on the side. We were talking just 20 minutes before she was hit. You see. And she was just a magnificent human being, very young, very committed.
But this whole fighting,
brother, I mean, Islam's got his versions.
But we about this stupid Nazi hate. I'm sick of hearing about. No one talks about the West Side Highway.
The West Side Highway?
Yeah, where 6 people were killed, 6 or 8 were killed by a jihadist. Fort Hood, beheading in Oklahoma. About the Orlando shooting at Pulse nightclub. About San Bernardino. We've heard about Heather Heyer literally more than all of those other victims combined. And every time you see these hate groups where they're out there to stop hate and hate watch and SPLC, ADL, it's just skinhead, Nazi, zero jihadists, zero jihadi training camps.
And quite frankly, I agree with you. And I think that what really, gets really, well, some Black people can get very upset with me because I say, you want me to focus on white supremacy when we know that 95% of Black Americans that are killed by other Black people.
19 a day.
95%.
Yeah.
So my chances, I should be more afraid sitting next to a Black man, all right, than if you're looking at just statistics. People don't like.
I'm gonna play that again. I'm gonna play that again because I'm gonna play that part again.
Nazi, zero jihadists, zero jihadi training camps.
And quite frankly, I agree with you. And I think that what really, gets really, well, some Black people can get very upset with me because I say, you want me to focus on white supremacy when we know that 95% of Black Americans that are killed by other Black people.
19 a day.
95%. Yeah. So my chances, I should.
Yes. I'll do it for every race. 90+% of all races in the United States are killed by somebody of their race. Whoop de fucking do. That's probably why they have a problem with you saying that, Candace. It's not about a crime of I hate this or I hate that. Majority of the time, most crimes are committed because it's a crime of proximity. You're close to a motherfucker. You're around this person on a regular basis. You're more inclined to commit a crime against that person. Like, so when you say that and make it seem like black, what your pushback that you'll get from black people, Candace, is when you say that, you make it seem as if black people are the only people out here killing motherfuckers. But when you look at the statistics for who kills white people the most, white people. Who kills black people the most, black people. Who kills Mexicans the most, Mexicans. It's because that's who we're fucking around. Right? Like, that's why you have an issue with that, Candace. You say it and you don't add context to it. Should we work on our problem in our own community with our murder rate? Hell fucking yes. And that's probably what you should say. You see, Red said, feds cannot be trusted to funnel the money properly. It should be managed locally to give parents a say where it goes. That's where you vote for your local politicians. See, Snowman said he makes a valid point. And then Red said in the same proximity, New York City, for example, black on black crime is disproportionately higher. Black on black crime is disproportionately higher compared to every other race in any part of the United States of America, pretty much. There are always going to be pockets where it's not. But I'm like, dude, that is what it is. Like, we have this type of culture in our, for black people, this is an issue that we need to address. You're not going to ever hear me say that we don't need to address this issue. We have a self-hate problem in our communities. So you won't hear me sit over here and say that shit ain't true. Israel said true. He wasn't talking about what I was just saying. He was talking about something earlier. But you'll never hear me say that. But just pointing that out, man, look, here you go. We're going to say we got a disproportionate amount of grapes coming from other communities. But you'll be like, what's the point of bringing it up when we're addressing one issue? Yes, that's an issue that we need to address in the black community. I will 100% agree with you on that.
Should be more next to a black man. All right, that's just statistics. People don't like that. That's the truth. They don't like that. Oh, no. It feels better. Let's focus on the white supremacy. Let's focus on this area, which basically never happens if you're looking at statistics, because you don't want to talk about fixing our communities. And when I spoke at the White House 2 weeks ago, I spoke about Tyshawn Lee.
It does happen.
Yeah, but 95%
disproportionate
every year, of black Americans that are killed in a homicide event are killed by other black people. And that's not even including Hispanics. So maybe another 3% were killed by Hispanics. Who knows? We're talking about a slither of people, black Americans in this country annually. And yet the focus on it would make you think it's happening every single day. That's my problem, because you want to know what that says? That says that they're purposely having us focus on things they're never going to fix our community. Okay. If we want to talk about fixing our communities, you got to talk about gang violence, because that's, and I spoke about that at the White House, Tyshawn Lee, a 9-year-old kid who got shot point blank, lured into an alley and shot point blank because of gang violence, because someone had a hit against his father. So they decided to kill his son. The guy was laughing in court. Everybody turns away from it. We're not going to talk about it because, it was happening in our community. Let's instead go out and protest in the strange event that a black American gets shot by a police officer unarmed. And this is the crap that I say. They have you looking at something that's never, ever, ever going to matter, right? That's never going to fix anything, because they know that we're slaughtering ourselves at a faster rate, and that's what they want.
But two things. One is that there is a difference between a policeman who kills a person and a citizen killing another citizen, because the police represent.
True, but they're killing 19 a day.
No.
Motherfucker, see that dude right there in the back, bro. If I was in the room, I'm like, dude, you need to calm down for a second, bro. Because, like, honestly, if I look at fucking white deaths in America, white murders in America, dude, we right here with each other, dude. Stop making it seem like that shit's like crazy as fuck, dude. I don't get why he keeps doing that shit. Like, we're having a conversation. That's why I thought it was a conversation between Candace and motherfucking goddamn Cornell. But you keep just 16, 17 a day. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Let's see. Grace said a house divided will fall. Sometimes a common enemy unites. I would agree. Got my boy out for the North 18 back up in here. What you sounding like? Say something.
You ain't gonna hit that on black for me?
Oh, hold up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Out for the Norm is in the building, y'all.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Chill.
Got the flow, sir.
Okay, so this conversation is very disingenuous on both sides. So I seen Cornell West at first seeming like he was really trying to have a conversation. And then when Candace brought up certain things, then he went into his shtick.
Mm-hmm.
Homeboy Gavin in the back, whatever his name, he started the same shit. He jumping in 17 debt. It's like, listen, if we're gonna be real about history, the problem was that made black people go to the Democrats so much, fake or not. It was like they started showing more concern because when all our cities was getting burned down and we was doing better than white folks at one point in time in this country, Republicans didn't do shit to help us when we was majority of conservative people. They didn't do shit to help us. So it seemed like the Democrats was trying to actually help us. So they never talk about that's where the migration of our people went over to more Democrats at a certain point in time. So also when they saying certain shit, it's annoying. So I agree with you, Jay. It's always that duality of disingenuousness on both sides that they keep fucking doing. Somebody be making a good point, then you see your boy in the background, he'll jump in and say some stupid shit. Then Candace will try to stay on his side and agreeing. It's a different conversation that we need to have. And the biggest issue I have with them, they do the same thing. They keep saying it's just Democrats. Y'all doing the same thing because every time they get black people that's on their side as conservatives, what they do, they always punch it down on black people. That's where the separation comes. If you're a conservative, Republican, whatever, fine. If you care about the community, okay, Candace, where are you at? Let's stop the violence. Where are you at? This person died. We need to see about this without it being in contrast or in debate against somebody saying the issues that we have with white supremacists. That's why black people don't mess with conservative blacks like that because they do the same punching down shit. It's no real conversation where we working together at. So until we start doing that and having real conversations about what's going on so we can actually identify a problem and doing something. And I mean, like, if we're talking about a specific thing, let's stick to that and see what we can do to fix that. Then we move on to the next thing to see what we can talk about and what we can fix that. Then we move on to the next thing and talk about what we can do to fix it. Until we stop fucking talking about, oh, it's y'all. Oh, it's y'all. It's going to keep being the same rhetoric that we keep hearing right now. And that's why things don't get done because it's all for fucking show.
All right. I like that. I like that. We got my boy V-Ben Israel up in the building, sir. Thoughts so far on this shit?
It's a tired conversation. How's everybody doing tonight? We've been having this conversation for a long time now, and it becomes a circular argument like women tend to do. If you're serious about fixing a problem, you have to deal with the root cause of the problem. Otherwise, every solution you come up with is going to fail. And that's what we've been watching over our lifetimes. The same solutions fail over and over and over again.
All right. And we got my boy Def Note up in the building. Def Note, you alive over there, sir? Is Def?
Yeah, my bad. I got like 6 different mutes on.
Every time.
Hey, man, I do what I do. Hey, man, you know what? I don't really 100% disagree with Candace Owens on nothing.
Hey, you know what? Can you turn your shit down just a smidget?
This motherfucker.
You watching Grey's Anatomy in the background. I wish I could play my music right now.
No, actually, I'm not playing Grey's Anatomy. My brother's actually watching you on the actual TV. So let me go ahead and step outside so that way it's a little bit clearer.
No. We're talking about your microphone.
Ah, man, look, see, we having all this shit right here, man. We was just cruising along, y'all. We cruising. Go on, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I actually kind of agree with what Candace Owens was saying and many of the points that she was making. Not 100%. Obviously, I don't agree 100% with anybody. That's why my nickname is Slightly Disagree. But definitely with Op, I don't agree with a damn thing he's saying because he's a piece of shit.
All right. Look, we got it all in real quick. Like, look, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and then we can just talk.
I see Def No plan on finishing this year strong.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Gotta let them know sometimes. Look, y'all. Let's see. Red has said the first elected black representative was Republican. Okay, got a little history in here. And then Grace said, "Deaf, you're gonna make us deaf." Okay. And then we got Snowman up in the building. I'm gonna let Snowman give his 2 cents real quick, like before we go back to the video. Snowman, what it do?
What's up, man?
Oh man, why you trying to sound like Luther Vandross or Barry White?
Yeah, he did come in here a little sexy, didn't he?
Hey man, I can't help
The
it.
hell was that
It is what it
about?
is, you know, just trying to be cool and you know, smooth.
Well, what's your thoughts on what we've covered so far?
Well, I would have to say that I'm leaning more towards with Oppo in this one. You know, me personally, I think that this is a disingenuous discussion to begin with. I mean, how often do we see these kind of debates and discussions set up for the greater populace to sit and listen to, and it's always with the same type of people leaning on the same kind of platform, you know, always with somebody as a moderator who's instigating the conversation to go one way or the other, you know. So look, like Op said, it's just for show, and then like Israel said, it's just another one of those circular arguments that are getting us nowhere. I mean, I would like to see an actual real discussion, you know, a real discussion about this, not some dramatized scripted discussion. You know, where both sides are hitting both sides' talking points, you know, one after another, like they're going down a playbook.
And check this, we gonna actually do a little bit of that too when we get done with this. I'm glad you brought. Look, that dude in the middle, bro, getting on my nerves this whole show. I'm just being honest with you.
Well, Gavin, he's
that's his name.
He has his moments. I mean, sometimes he's an all right dude, but for the most part, he's a piece of shit.
Right, he just kept killing me with some of the shit he was saying, but I ain't gonna hold him because we gonna play probably about 10 more minutes of this, and then anybody else that wants to come up, hit the link because we gonna have a full discussion on this shit. This is just to get the ball rolling, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit more, and then yeah, we gonna get into it, y'all.
We have to speak the truth.
Yeah,
and so the truth that you talk about in terms of disproportionately black on black violence is something that you have to speak to. But the second point is this, though, that there are a number of folk in the black community who both talk about it and try to organize against the black on black violence.
So why don't they have the platform that these Black Lives Matter groups have?
Well, one is because you got a liberal media that does not want to put a spotlight on black people organizing themselves and dealing with problems inside of the black community.
Because that would help us.
That's true.
Well, I mean, that's a certain white supremacist sensibility.
That's very true.
And that's what I say. So agree.
Absolutely. But that does not mean, though, that you don't want to keep these police accountable.
What he's saying is very true, because I remember, what was it, like 2 years ago, maybe 3, when they had that. It was after that little girl, that 12-year-old, got shot in the McDonald's parking lot in Chicago, going through the drive-through. There were a bunch of black leaders in the black community that had actually come together, and they actually started raising money and funds to try and do something to put an end to all the black violence, you know, in the hood. And that got little or no, news media coverage at all whatsoever. And I think the only reason why I even saw it is because I live close to Chicago, you know. Otherwise, I probably never would have even made it across my fucking algorithm.
You want to know something interesting, Snowman? I 100% agree with you. You know what I mainly talk about over here, like relationships between men and women. And Op can vouch for
bullshit, but good.
Okay. And I'll go.
Wait until you see some of the shit I've done. I've been clipping shit from TikTok. Oh my god.
Oh, TikTok's a confessional, man.
Oh, dude, have you seen the TikTok lives? Holy shit, dude! There's a bunch of retards.
I agree with you, and I believe you. But one thing that I've noticed, and going to the point that you and Cornell, you double down on, and Cornell was talking about, we have a talking point in this space about black fathers are not there. They don't want to be in their kids' lives, and they don't care about their kids. They literally had a school. I can't remember exactly which state it was in. I know you probably remember, but they were having an issue with kids getting in fights at schools. So
I think it was in Dallas.
In Dallas, okay. So the fathers being together, and they went to the campus, and they were there every day. And they saw the school was talking about how these incidents drop from being crazy high to like non-existent now. And the kids they talk to the kids and shit. It's like the kids like having the fathers there. They crack jokes with them. They give them somebody to look up to, especially if they ain't got a dad at home and shit. And it's like, it's narratives that the media does not want to show because they need to keep people in certain lights. They need to keep a certain narrative going to keep this system running the way it is running right now to benefit the people it's benefiting and to keep certain people in certain places.
Well, the only way to push this authoritarian movement that they're trying to put on everybody is to have what they call a mass psychosis. And that is for everybody to believe that the same problems are going on and that the only answer that you can get is from your government.
Yeah, daddy government got the answer for you. I just tell everybody, just use the black community as an example. When they start handing out all that welfare, the government ain't got your back, bro. But anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I want to ask somebody, either Israel or Snowman. Y'all might remember this. Who made the statement? Don't ask what your government can do for you. Ask what you can do for your government.
That was Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy.
Okay. All right.
JFK. All right. Let's keep going, y'all.
Jay should have knew that.
Shooting these young folk.
I don't keep up none of them motherfucking presidents.
Day in and day out.
Accountable. They
It's
go
not
to
day in
jail.
and day
They
out.
lose their
They
pension.
go to jail. They got one going to
Hold
jail,
up.
brother.
Let's
You got one going to jail out of all
Let's
these
correct
shootings.
the record. This is not happening day in, day out. In the year where they made it seem like it was the absolute worst in 2016, 16 unarmed black men were shot and killed. By rate, more white men were killed by.
It's 1,000
But also,
in the
More white
unarmed,
men,
unarmed can mean was armed.
Yeah,
It can mean
could
trying to kill
going
you
at
with
him,
the
trying to
car.
kill. That's correct. 16, even if we're being generous, 16, you had a higher chance as a black American man of being struck by lightning than you did of being shot unarmed. Okay, white men were killed by police officers at a higher rate, as were Hispanic men. We know none of their names because it was a narrative. It was all about the black vote. They jump a narrative. They decide who they're going to go after. In 2016, it happened to be police officers. We're going to see who it is in 2020. This is not about helping to save black lives. You can't tell me that you're focusing on 16 lives when a more unsafe place for a black person to be would be in its mother's womb. We're slaughtering our offspring at a way faster rate when we have more black babies
she's kind of making a point too,
born
Jay.
alive in cities like New York.
Oh, I
So
agree
to
with
me,
it.
it's all a
Gotta
farce.
finish it out.
And I
No,
think
but
it is
see, this
because
is what I
Well,
think
pause it
is-
for 1 second.
No, but it
She's making a good point, but she's not taking it far enough.
Right.
Because
right.
if you want to tell the truth, black men are more likely to be killed by a black woman than a police officer. But that never gets talked about.
Well, the thing, I think what she's trying to, and I hate to agree with Gavin because, like I said, I think Gavin's an arrogant prick most of the time, but what they're trying to point out, which I do agree with, is that if you look at the news media, 9 times out of 10, if there is any kind of mass casualty or mass shooting situation or any kind of victim situation where it's white people that are victims and it's a black perpetrator, the media will do everything in their power, it seems like, for it not to be covered. The same as they do the same as they do when you have people in the community that are trying to rise up and actually find a solution to the problems in the community. They're sitting here and literally perpetuating that everything's one-sided on all sides and all fronts.
Actually,
a prime example of that is the Waukesha thing. When they first reported that, they reported it as a SUV ran over a bunch of people in a parade.
Actually, Snowman, what it is, you have regular news outlets that actually do their job, and then you have journalists because Fox News, we watch Fox News in my city, but it's like Fox News 13.
Right.
And then we got NBC Channel 8. They report the news as is. But then when you have journalism from MSNBC and then the Fox News journalists, they perpetuate the bullshit.
Yeah, put their spin on it.
Yeah, because in all actuality, when a black person does take the life of a white person, it's put out there. It's not shunned. So it's definitely a difference in the news. That's what I'm saying. It's a difference in the news that we watch. The problem is they put so much money and dollars into pushing, like when they used to with Bill O'Reilly or whoever's on MSNBC. That's what they do. So that's what we have to be careful about. Do you actually want the news or do you want entertainment?
Well, you got to also understand, Op, that if you really look at it on a economic standpoint, racism is big money in this country.
Oh, of course.
Racism is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And they can't have racism in. They have to have racism around. It's still got to stick around. Otherwise, the establishment is going to lose money.
But it's not just that. It's whatever perpetuates clickbait. It's the same thing with the TV, just like what it is with internet now. It's about click. Oh, my bad, Jay. But real quick, it's about the clickbait. So even if it's that, then or if it's trans people or whatever, they're gonna show that because it gets so much coverage.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to interrupt you, Jay. Go ahead with your video.
Well, one more point. My point is you take Shanquella Robinson here in Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had that been a group of black men, if you reverse the genders, right, you'd have Black Lives Matter people camped out here in Charlotte. But because it was black women being violent, as it usually is, it's nothing. No rallies, no protests. They're barely even covering it.
Yeah, man. Then what happened to her was absolutely.
And I'm here in Charlotte.
Hey, I just want to let you know, because the spin is in. You got people out here, especially people with big platforms and a presence, that are saying that was a black man that did that to her.
The way her neck was broke, it almost seems as such.
Well, but unfortunately, they have a video. They have a video of women doing it.
Yeah, they say those are men.
No, those are women. It's confirmed. They are women.
What he's saying is they're Transformers.
Look, it blows my mind that, like, I'm just showing how going.
But I get what you're saying, Jay. They're gonna always try to put it on a man, even when it ain't men.
Certain things are not gonna get covered in. And then he go. First off, we all know this. We all know this as grown ass adults. Fox News, OAN, MSNBC, CNN, those are trash ass news networks. They are for a certain political party. We all know it. If you want actual news, your best bet is to get it from your local.
Even alternative news outlets that have become, nothing more than, trash, slanderous news outlets now. I mean, you can't even trust half of what they say. All they're doing is they're just peddling snake oil, it seems like.
Far left, far right. I like watching Indisputable with Dr. Richie. And there's been many of videos I've seen where I'm like, this dude full of shit. And then there's times where I'm like, he's on point.
Well, it seems like you actually get more of a real unbiased understanding of what happened in the news media when you actually listen to people on panels discuss what happened.
Yeah, you can get all the different, because we all heard it from a different spot or somewhere else, so we can all bring it all in together. We can all make our own conclusion about the situation. So I would agree with that. Look, y'all, we're going to keep running. I'm not covering the whole video. I'm going to take it to probably 40. I'll take it to 42 minutes, and especially if they ain't in there on those hot topics. But Gavin needs to shut the fuck up.
You and I could have liberal media, but I think you have
have
a bit more open-mindedness at the spectrum and the continuum. We've got statistics on the percentages of black men who will be pulled aside in the car. The percentage of men who, when we went to jail in New York City about 8 years ago here with the stop and frisk, when you had over 90% of the folks stop and frisk were young black brothers and brown brothers.
Those are
not killings. Those are not killings.
Right.
They were disproportionately pulling over whites.
No. Oh, not at
all. As they appeared in the crime stats, yes.
No.
The way blacks and whites appeared in the New York crime stats, they were pulled over less than that. There was more whites pulled over than they appeared in the crime stats.
See, one thing Gavin need to understand is percentages and total numbers. Yes.
Well, yeah, because there's going to be more whites pulled over when whites make up 70. Well, whites make up on average 65% of the population. So obviously, they're going to have more of the police interactions than any other race.
The same thing.
Well, that's what they don't understand what the word disproportionate means, and that's why they're struggling with total numbers versus percentage.
You know what?
That's why you always hear these queens always saying, "I want the raw numbers. I don't care about stats."
And see the sad part. Well, okay, I don't even know how that would fucking work because I don't think those are the two same things. But
no, they're not.
She brought up earlier disproportionate when it came to black on black crime. So obviously, and he agreed. Gavin agreed with the motherfucker with it. So Gavin, either you being disingenuous or you stupid because now you can't turn around and say, "Well, white people are disproportionately." No, well, they're pulled over more. I'm like, that's not the same fucking thing. But go ahead, Israel.
I mean, well, Candace did the same thing when she you brought up this point yourself, black on black crime. And I've said it on many panels myself. It's non-existent. It's the same as white on white, Mexican on Mexican, and every other group.
It's just
because
crime.
you're more likely to kill the people that are close to you, as you said, proximity.
Yep.
There's no difference. I mean, within a couple of points.
Yeah.
So black people are doing it at 95%. White people are like right there at 89. I mean, come on, it's the same. I mean, we're still talking about the vast majority.
That's a whole 6% difference, man. We're winning.
But Mexicans are right there. They're like, if we're 95, they're 93. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm actually gonna pull that stat up when we get to the end of this video. I did have Red jumped on. Red, did you have anything real quick before we kept moving? And then I need to check with Death Note too. So, Red, did you have anything?
Yeah, I think I don't think this argument is that circular. I think it's actually come to a good place, particularly when Wes pointed out that
the reason I'm saying it's circular is because if you go back 10 years, you'll see the same conversation. If you go back 20 years,
there are some good points made.
Old man, let the guy finish his thought and then jump his shit.
I'm sorry, I did cut you off. I apologize.
He pointed out the liberal media. And I think that is the problem here. It's like a cathedral that's mimicking the same talking point as a lot of these government institutions. And just like how you were pointing out about how Lockheed Martin, they have a certain budget that they have to spend, otherwise they don't get as much money. It's the same thing with the race economy.
No, I'm talking about the military. Lockheed Martin ain't part of the military. That's just a private industry.
Okay, well, I mean, that too. It's every government institution when you're looking at the budget. Just like the race economy.
Lockheed Martin is not a government institution.
I'm talking about institutions in general. When I say the cathedral, it's all the same power structure. It's just operating private, corporate.
I know. We just try to make sure that there's clarity for the people who are watching.
Okay, what I'm drawing the comparison here is towards these institutions.
Halliburton is in a government institution,
and the race economy.
When it's able to get government contracts, without anybody, challenging their price, then can it still be said that it's a government institution?
Like either way,
in a sense.
Let Red finish his shit out real quick. Red, finish out. I'm sorry.
The point is, the race economy is just like Lockheed Martin. It's just like the CIA, just like the FBI. It needs to keep itself employed basically with all these funds because, like we just said, race makes a lot of money in America. And if there's not enough hate crimes, if there's not enough controversial talking points, it's not going to make as much headway. It's not going to get the money. The media is the problem because you look at the media and it's telling you all these problems all day and it's stressing people out. But you open the window and you look outside and it's birds chirping. I think people need to localize their own medias and stop paying attention to global bullshit.
Think about how many people are making millions. I mean, personal people making millions of dollars just off of pushing this narrative.
Look, every media is every time I deploy, and I'm pretty sure Dev Note can tell you this too. The way you win a war is not by force, the best technology you got. You win it with information. That's how you win a war. Like this straight up. You win if you can win the hearts and minds. So media is our biggest threat. Technology, right? Shit, they get kind of hand in hand. Devno, did you have anything on this before I played a little bit more of this video?
Nah, I'm gonna let you run through because you know me, I start asking those questions and conversation builds, and we never gonna get back to the video. So go ahead and roll clip.
Well, here, check it. I'm gonna run it to 40. I'm gonna run it to 40 minutes on there. So we already 37:21 in. Y'all, everybody shut the hell up for that point, and then we gonna talk about it. I'll do a part two. I'll probably do a part two maybe tomorrow, finish it out. But yeah, let's go ahead and finish this.
You remember the woman who
Bloomberg even
who was the judge when she threw all the statistics and said, "My God, under Bloomberg,
yes,
you had."
And she was later fired for incompetence.
No.
She was a boob.
Yeah, no.
I'll say something. I'll ask a question.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Black Americans, we make up 13% of the population.
More than that.
We account for over 50% of all the homicides in this country. Is it possible that we're getting arrested more because we're committing more of the crimes?
No, in terms of getting arrested,
I'm talking
for particular
homicides.
crime.
13% of the
But
population.
we're
over
talking about
57%.
police killing or being pulled over
Okay, so you're
for driving in the
saying
car
for-
and so forth. When in terms of the sheer number of homicides, you've got a disproportionate number of poor black people, disproportionately men.
But we're disproportionately committing the
have-
crimes in this country, all of them across the
No,
board.
not all of them. No, not white collar crime. Not
That's
Wall
okay.
Street crime.
I'm talking about
You're talking about
violent crimes.
Oh, you're talking about like
White collar
murders,
crimes.
Yes, absolutely,
you're
absolutely.
correct
No,
about that.
you're right.
It just
about
sounds
that.
like there's a lot
Absolutely.
of disingenuous agenda
That's my
with
thing.
the
It's
left.
like, just be
and at the
real.
beginning of
But
this,
the
you were
problem
saying
is, though, you got to have a press that is open enough to deal with all of these issues candidly, and that's
the
what
press
we
is
don't
obsessed with the Nazi shit. They're obsessed with hate, hate, hate. We live in a racist society. It's way worse than it was in the 70s and the 80s. We've gone backwards in time. And the thing I hate about that narrative, like I've got these friends, Max Hare, John Kidsman, they're Proud Boys. Proud Boys are a multi-racial club. There's gays, Jews in it, and they all love Trump. The DNC is pounding on them. They're a hate group. These guys are getting sentenced next week. Max Hare and John Kinsman. 3.5 years would be best case scenario. Could be 15 because Antifa jumped them, and it was like the third Antifa fight of the night. Antifa jumped them, and they beat up Antifa. And the court said, you beat them up too much. And because of the Nazi narrative, the jury went, throw the book at him. One of the guys has 4 black kids, and he might not see those kids for 15 years because he fought back after an ambush. And it's the idiotic Nazi narrative.
They call me.
Yeah,
They call me a.
No. Hang on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna break down his logic real quick right here. You can be a Nazi.
We got 60 seconds. Let it finish.
Nah, I'm gonna say something about this shit real quick, like, cause this dude is stupid, man. I'm gonna let it finish. This dude's stupid.
A Nazi sympathizer. They call me a person that supports Hitler. I mean, you're exactly right. They overuse that term, and the problem is that when you do that, when you're willing to paint such a broad stroke that you start calling black people white supremacists, it becomes very hard to take you seriously.
They call it multiracial white supremacy.
But one of the ironies of Charlottesville was, two things. One, I saw a black man marching with the neo-Nazis when we were being spit at and cussed out.
No.
Well, you know why? Because
he was not a neo-Nazi.
No, I didn't say neo-Nazi. He's marching.
No,
with
he wasn't.
them.
There was 2 rallies that day. There was the statues,
that's what I was going to say. It was about
and
the
then there was the
statues.
neo-Nazi crap after.
And it was
When
separate.
Trump said there's good people on both sides,
That's what he was talking
about the statue
Yep.
rally.
There were people that were just
No,
there.
but-
That were just
2
there.
rallies.
Black people that were there protesting. They didn't want the statue torn down
Yeah,
at
but
all.
but
And
these
then they
folk, I'm
mixed
talking about the
them
one
with
with
the
the mask
neo-Nazis.
and had the live ammunition with the neo-Nazi signs.
What the Dukes? I mean the Dukes have the Confederate flag, or neo-Nazi signs.
It was a combination of Confederate flags and neo-Nazi signs. You know, there's about 29 groups there. So it was a heterogeneous group of right-wing folk willing involved in violent activity.
That whole thing was
But
a
the other
bizarre
thing,
shit
too,
show
you
that
see,
we
but-
talk
but
about
when
way
we
too
talk
much.
about atypical,
All right, look. I'm gonna end right there because Gavin don't want to accept. Like, here you go. Gavin is sitting over here, and I can feel Gavin on some of his arguments. Gavin wants us on not us on the left because ain't no left, but he wants people that disagree with his talking points to understand. Yes, we have crime problems in the black community. Got you. There are issues in the liberal side of people that want to teach gender and shit in schools and not let the parents know. Agree with you again on that, Gavin. But you're not gonna sit over here as soon as somebody bring up something that happens on the side that you represent and just be like, no, it's not fucking happening. Let's stop. Gavin literally just
No, the point is, which is more important?
Neither one of them on the grand scheme of things. On the great, their LGBTQ community makes up 7.1% of the population. If you go to the people that are neo-Nazis or whatever, I'll probably say right around the fucking same.
Well, not anymore with the new generation of kids. It's more like 20.
Okay, well, you say it's going up with the neos, or are you talking about with the...
With LGBTQ kids.
Nah, man, I pulled up the stat the other day. They did it for 2022, 7.1 for people that identify as LGBTQ.
I'm talking about kids in classrooms, young people.
Well, how can you count that?
They ask them. Do you identify?
So they have the data to back it up.
Yeah, and it's gone from, it was like 5% in 2005.
Look that up.
No, that's the stat. I'm telling you the stat.
So hold on, Ray. Are you talking about that's going to be added to the stat that Jay seen, or you saying that that's a?
I don't know what stat he's looking at.
Pull up the one you're talking about. That's what he's telling you. Pull up the one you're talking about.
Show me what you're talking about, because I want to.
Because I get what he's saying on that aspect. Because, all right, you saying that's a big problem. Now, what makes it a big problem is when they start changing laws. But what they don't talk about is the white sheets that's hidden in and cloaked in suits. Just like when you had the police with that situation, I think it was North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere, that they caught these police officers talking about hopefully a civil war breaks out so they can kill black people. So then there's a duality to that stress of black people and for its people who are parents and want to raise their children traditionally. It's all issues that need to be seeked out and taken care of, because if you're not somebody living in that life, whatever part that you're fighting for, you're not walking in their shoes, then of course you don't see it the same way. So there is a way that we do have to be respectful of each other and everybody else, but you can't make it seem as though that don't matter because it doesn't matter to you. That's called implicit biasness. And that's what we're dealing with overall.
If I can, I'd like to add to that too, though, because what I'm saying isn't a stretch. I mean, he is making a good point. I think the only thing that you probably could have touched on is the fact that what you were saying about, that causes issues, and what ends up happening is the everyday average black individual trying to live their life. They hear that it gets them in a state of panic, and then they take it out on the average everyday individual white person. And then now we got this war going on and being waged with two people that had nothing to do with anything, that was perpetuated by someone else.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It happens. It happens both ways. I just was somewhere earlier. I went into this pawn shop just to look at some of the stuff that they had, and some white chick just came out and kind of was being sneaky about following me around the store. And I was just like, okay, so in my mind, I'm not going to take it as a racial thing, right? But
you were wearing a hoodie, weren't you?
No, I wasn't wearing a hoodie. But the problem is when you have people that do stuff like that. Now I could have overreacted like an idiot and be like, oh, you follow me because I'm black, but I know better to be smarter than that, right?
Right.
So when you have issues like that, certain other people are gonna react the wrong way, and I think certain people have to be careful about it, because maybe she watched Fox News every day. I don't know.
She probably does. She's a business owner.
No, she wasn't a business owner. She was like a store. I don't even think she was one of the managers. The manager was like this heavy-set Mexican guy sitting behind the desk.
All right, well, there you go, Red. I want you to see this and send me a link or something so I can pull it up. Like they showed.
It's Gallup News. Gallup poll shows 1 in 5 Gen Z identifies as LGBT.
1 in
Gallup
5?
poll. Yeah, 20. That's 20. Gallup News. They conduct polls.
Yeah.
20% of Gen Z. That's 1 in 5.
And when did they do that?
2021. You think it went down in 2022?
Astronomical.
Well, if you look right here, February 17, 2022.
That's not Generation Z.
That's Gallup. This is a Gallup poll for all Americans.
What he's saying
that's
is
all Americans.
That's all Americans. So your actual percentage is going to go down because you're actually covering the entire population instead of one
right. You're asking 70-year-olds, what do you identify as?
No,
all the way. No, wait. All the way
Generation
down
Z.
All the way down to high school.
So that you're saying we're adding,
but it's all of them together.
That's what I asked you earlier, Red. Are you talking about a separate stat? Because Jay is talking about you.
I'm talking about children.
All right.
Okay, so you're talking about just children right now is at 20%. At 20% of children identify as LGBT.
At least.
Okay, so
let's be clear on what Generation Z is. Wait. Let's be clear on what Generation Z is. That's not.
Hold up, real quick. Red saying
97 to 2003.
Okay. So 97 to 2003. You saying is at 20%. So if that's the case, then Gallup needs to update the poll that they have right here.
You're not looking at that poll.
Well, it's showing the percentage.
Type in Gen Z in the search bar.
No, I'm saying they need to update their shit to 27.1. If you're saying it's 20,
no, because it's including all generations.
Yeah, Jay, that's the difference between that poll and the one he's talking about. The one he's talking about is only covering Generation Z, whereas the one you're looking at and talking about is covering the population as a whole.
Okay, but
which means your stats are going to be different because you're covering 350 million people instead of 20 million people.
Okay, but think about what y'all saying. They probably incorporated that same stat, though, that data.
Of course they did.
To the entire population.
Yeah, of course they did, but
my point is,
Jay, they obviously did, but it's still going to make the percentage different when it's the entire population.
Averages.
My point was, it's a small percentage of Americans, period, that identifies LGBTQ.
My point was, it was an important issue because 20% of children in schools identify as it.
Mm-hmm.
That was my point. Which and that wasn't the only thing Gavin was talking about. He was also talking about black on black crime, which is also a much more important issue.
Red. Listen, do you have the stat?
I'll pull it up. But
Gallup, type in Gallup poll Gen Z LGBT.
Okay, Gallup,
pull it up for me.
I'm already because the only thing I'm saying, like, if you're saying that adds into the total number of all Americans, okay, I got you, and it comes out.
Just type in 1 in 5 Gen Z. It'll come up.
1 in 5 Gen Z, 1
LGBT.
5.
Hold on, Jay. What that said? Strong naked man.
No shit like that.
I saw that too.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to go back.
I saw chicks with dicks.
Hold on.
1-800 chicks with dicks.
Where y'all see that at?
I saw 1-800 getting pegged.
1 and 5.
5 Gen Z LGBT.
No, I know what you was talking about. I was trying to see what the hell they said popped up.
Man, you know what
they're saying.
You said black man getting pegged popped up.
You know what you watch on your free time, Jay.
I don't look at shit on this computer. It can't get viruses.
Hey, Snowman, it says what? It says getting Alabama man getting paid.
All right, hold on. You
there it is. There it is.
You want the Gallup one, right? Or you want the?
Click on that. Click on that article. It's linked in it.
It's linked in it. All right.
Yeah.
Gallup poll released Thursday. Okay, this is February 19th, 2022. All right, Gen Z, 20.8% of them identify as, let me see, Americans who self-identify as LGBTQ in 2021 by generations. Gen Z, 20%, millennials, 10.5, Gen X, 4.2.
Look at the increase.
6. But this is
it's doubled every generation.
Yeah, every generation. But then, Red, if you go back, once again, if you go back to this right here, Red.
Oh my goodness.
That was in 2021. This is 2022. This is 2022 right here.
You really think it went down?
No, when you add all of those people together, the total number is 7.
I'm not talking about that.
You're just talking about the kids. Okay, if you want to talk about the kids,
that's what I was always talking about.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't give a shit about adults.
Talking about all Americans. I'm talking about all Americans. You're talking about the kids.
If you think about it, the issue isn't about adults. The issue is about what the kids are being taught and having pushed on them when it comes to this.
That's the root of the problem.
We all agree. No. The root of the problem is that the fathers are not in the home, and we need to figure out why the fathers are not there. And I'm not going around with the narrative that these men are just walking out on their fucking kids.
Well, we know why the fathers aren't in the home, because they're being pushed out by the government.
Hey man, hold up, man. We can't say that because we gotta have the people come over here. I need Cynthia G folks to come over here and argue me down that all men desert their kids.
And Cynthia G's a whole fucking clown.
Oh no, she got a lot of clowns behind her too, man.
Why are you always worried about what
she can't even paint her fucking fake eyebrows on straight.
She's not a valid source of any information.
It's showing when I
like to rile up people. That's all he's.
I love the attention, man.
That's all it is. But let's get back to some real shit. That is an issue because I was saying that earlier. It is an issue, but what I'm saying is, if you look at it in comparison, when they kept bringing up black crime, right, in comparison to what the police or racism does to black people, they say it's not worth mentioning. And that's why I brought up that you have police officers that's involved in it. And then you had the FBI report that came out in 2013 that was telling the police people and the United States people that is an issue, right? But then they try to act like it's not an issue. So it's like, okay, so why the hell should we care about what's going on with trans people if my kids ain't that? If my kids ain't gay, my kids ain't trans. So when they say that, of course, it's going to be an argument on both sides. And my main point is this. We keep trying to have those conversations to make it an issue of what's more important. But when you look at, like I said earlier, black conservatives that they handpick are always punching down. You can never point to a black conservative or Republican that when they're on the news or when they're getting these interviews that they're not punching down and they're not saying what we have to do, and they're actually doing it in the community. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because I've known Republican black people that do good in
calling out the Democrat establishment punching down.
You just missed exactly
That's
what I just said.
That's not a good question.
That's not what I even. That's not even what I said, Red.
Okay, I'm asking, what do you mean by punching down?
What? No, listen what I said. When they pick black conservatives, the issue that I see most black people in the community have is because they're the ones that's punching down on the black people that are Democrats.
What does that mean?
What it means,
it means they're the ones talking the most shit, dude.
They talking shit about black folks.
That's what I'm saying, and it's not helping.
They talk shit about black people. That's what.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because if they would choose the ones that's actually doing things in the community, then black people would listen to them more. If we see them out there actually doing things, then that's what we're talking about, and it's not a situation where Fox News brings them on to talk shit about black people will actually listen more. I'm talking about black people.
Well, see, that's why I say these kind of debates are really kind of disingenuous anyhow, because it always ends up coming back to the same ad hominem fucking talking points, where all you're doing is both of you are slinging mud and trying to point out which side looks worse.
And you're chasing symptoms. You're not chasing the root cause. You're only chasing symptoms.
And matter of fact, let me give you a perfect example real quick. Snowman. Let's say I was in your city or state or whatever, and God forbid I had an issue with the police. Something happened. I filmed it. I went live. I showed what happened. Try to get a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? But, I wasn't smart enough to realize, don't just try to get them big lawyers on TV or Benjamin Crump motherfucker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I come to you, Snowman, I be like, man, I did this. I got attention to it, but nothing has changed. They're not taking me going down there filing a report on the police seriously. What would you tell somebody like me in that situation as a resource that I can go to actually get something done because I'm trying to do it the right way?
Wow, that's a good question. That's actually pretty loaded. I mean, the only thing that you can do, the only advice you can give somebody is to, go and find the best lawyer that you can, man, and maybe give them suggestions of local lawyers that'll actually take their case serious. And then as a person that would actually be friends with, you kind of help with the rallying, cry in the community, to bring awareness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Problem you're gonna have when it comes to lawyers. This is the problem that we have in our United
Wait,
States.
hold on, Jay. Hold that thought.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I asked you that question, Snowman, because I wanted to show something real quick of real solidarity. If we really want something done, and for any other race of people, white people, Asian, whoever, that has an opinion about the black community, if somebody comes to you and asks for your actual help of resources and you can't give it, that's when I think you don't fuck with us. If certain people will sit there and talk shit versus like, hey, maybe this will help you, maybe that help you. Like, even if you give your opinion, like, I seen you do this, but I think you probably should have did it this way. And matter of fact, like you just said, here's a local lawyer that actually may really help you, because from what I've seen, it was situations he actually helped. And I think until we get back to that real solidarity, we're going to keep having these problems because we're not actually, like I said, with this conversation being disingenuous. They didn't talk about any resources or anything that could help any community to do a fucking thing. It was all entertainment, and that's my biggest thing. If we want to actually get back to a point of us helping each other and we're all Americans, we have to get back to that instead of this entertainment bullshit.
I agree, because the entertainment just keeps helping push the narrative and, making them billions off of this race hustle fucking shit.
It's too much. Yeah, it's
what you said earlier, Red. I mean, not Red, but us.
The media.
You said earlier that they need racism. Remember that?
Yeah, like they absolutely do. It's necessary for the economy to flourish.
So it's going to be people like us that can sit around and have conversations and hopefully show other people. Like, that's why I don't have no problem. Like, I bring anybody on here. I would love to talk to somebody that's like certified KKK. And have a conversation with them.
No, you wouldn't.
One of my best friends was racist as fuck.
I don't believe you.
I'm dead ass serious. I would say
Hold on,
his
Snowman.
name.
Hold on, Snowman. He's from Alabama. It's very
Look,
possible. Like he probably called him boy.
Is it
instead of calling
possible
him
that
by
he
his
knew
name.
someone that was racist as fuck? Yeah, but he was best friends with someone that was racist as fuck. Those two things don't work out together.
Hold on,
First off,
Snowman, he's from Alabama. His friend probably called him boy instead of calling him by his first name.
Oh, hold on. First off, we ain't going that far. Now, Snowman, you can't say that because think about it. We have a lot of racist people that have kids by black women.
That's true.
Not real racist people. Really racist people ain't having kids.
If you hard to the grave,
shitting me,
dude. You don't know. You've never met a real racist person, then have you?
Bro, if you're really racist, you're not gonna mix your bloodline.
No,
right,
we talking about. Hold on, we talking about neo-racist people. You ever heard of soul music?
Well, now you're moving the goalpost.
look, I'm saying, they're racist. Racist white.
Look, dude, I'm just saying. I grew up a part of. I grew up with racist people in my family, so I know what real racism looks like.
No. You guys are all right. You are right. But what we're saying is, in this modern day and age, like them neo-Nazis that was out there with fucking tiki torches. That's what we're facing nowadays. Bullshit racism.
They had it back in the day during slavery times. Okay, think about this. These motherfucking slave owners were racist. They were still fucking these black women. So what
okay, so you're comparing
because
white boyfriends to slave
racism
owners.
has nothing to do with prejudice and bigotry.
That's
You
what
mix
I'm
That was a
trying to
business
tell you.
deal.
That's what I'm trying to like. They can be racist against a group of people and still fuck with them.
But you ain't got. But what Israel's saying is, the slave thing and racism are not synonymous with each other.
Exactly.
Racism is about economics. I've told y'all that before.
No, racism.
I think you all are right and wrong at the same time.
Oh, man, let's just put it all
is,
together in one ball, right?
It's just ignorance to hate somebody about skin color.
No, that's prejudice and bigotry.
No, you're talking about systematic racism, not just
No,
racism.
I'm talking about racism, period. That's not racism. That's prejudice and bigotry.
When you look up the actual definition, Israel,
I don't care what the definition says in 2022. In 2022, they changed the definitions. But if you go back to the 1600s and look up the definition, you'll get a different period. Racism has always been about economics. It's not about I don't like you because of your skin color. So that's why you have a racist person who has black children.
No, racism in the beginning wasn't about economics, Israel.
It's always been about economics.
Because look, dude, I can pull up a dictionary from 1952 right now, and I can
go
give
back
you
to
the
the
definition.
1600s when racism was invented. It was a race to get to the new world with the most free labor.
Because actually, it's today's dictionaries that actually attribute economics to racism.
If you go back to the root word is
that racism comes from class struggle.
Hold on, Red, hold on. Israel talking. Hold on.
It's a race to get to the new world with the most free labor. That's what it was about. It wasn't about I don't like you because you're black. Or I don't like you because you're white or brown. It was economics.
It was we're going to get to the new world before Germany.
No, not Germany. Portugal, France, Spain.
All of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was about. It was always about economics.
Now, see, Israel, that does make sense. So I'm glad you clarified
Everything's
because
about economics.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, I can't agree. My bad. I will reconvert my statement because
concede.
When it came to the Black Friday shit, that was actually about selling off slaves. That was not about no fucking after Thanksgiving buying fucking gifts and all of that bullshit for the cheap price.
That's not true.
Oh, really?
And even if it was, who cares?
Hold on.
They're not selling slaves now.
Hey, hold on now, Red. Don't do that. If that's where the root was, if that was actually where the root was,
they not
that's
selling.
like that's the whole narrative.
Everybody, hold up. They not selling them, but they leasing them. But Death Note has something he wanted to say.
Yeah, I think that it was a matter of propaganda, or case and be. I don't think that we can actually pinpoint the actual history of Black Friday because there's many things that were told as far as where it came from. So
it was a consumerist invention.
Well, yes, that is one of the narratives that was pushed. But what I'm saying is all these different narratives that are being pushed as far as what Black Friday is. is based off of propaganda, based off of what we know in our time frame. Because as far as Black people, we don't know because our parents never talked about this stuff. Even great grandparents who were slaves never even talked to their children about what it was to be a slave. So what I'm saying is that everything that I'm seeing going through history, looking at all the different routes and avenues, it just looks like it was a method of propaganda or whatever the case may be. And depending on what economic bracket that you fell into, or depending on what race you were, determine what story you heard. So I'm just trying to say that, hey, it's false until I see otherwise.
Well, can I ask a question of you guys? How many of you, I'm sure Israel probably has. I'm sure you're with me.
He already had questions.
No, hold on, because Israel's just, he's the only one close to my age, How many on here have actually, like, back in when they were a young adult in their, 20s or maybe early high school years, late high school years, did they sit down and have a relative that they talked to that, were 80, 90, possibly 100 years old and asked them what it was like when they were a kid growing up?
This guy.
I did. We were on a panel one night. I told you about my aunt who recently died, who was 103 years old.
Right.
Damn, Moses.
Yeah, and the only reason why I ask is because I know, like me, I had an aunt that was 98 years old when she died, and I think I was in my early 30s. And then I had a great grandma. She was 101 when she died, and I was I think 21, 22. And both of them had always told me that the way that they push things now, and this is even back in the early 2000s, even somewhat in the 90s with the race thing. She said the way they push things in history isn't the way it really went.
Well, I'll tell you this. My dad, well, not my dad, but on my mom's side, her dad, my granddad, I tell stories about me chilling on the porch with him while he drinking his liquor, and we watch all the kids playing shit. He's telling me all the time about all the shit that happened when he was growing up. And he used to always tell me that he never understood how we move because it was a different time for him growing up. They, like, when it comes to pushing shit, that comes with technology, man. You can reach people in the far reaches of the earth now. You can reach people everywhere. That's why this media shit is so important. But they had their own shit. Like, he grew up in Geneva, Alabama. He died in Geneva, Alabama.
How old is your father you talking about? I'm
talking about my granddad. My granddad on my mom's side.
So how old are we talking about?
Well, when he died, I think he was like 90 something.
What like generation are we talking about? That's what I'm trying to understand. Who
you put it like this. Like, my dad is in here. Here you go. Well, I'll give you my mom's side. Because if he was like 90 something when he died, my mom was like 30 something. And yeah, like my mom was like 30 something. When he died.
You're not telling me nothing. I need to know what generation you're talking about.
He'll probably be a baby boomer.
What year did he die?
If he was that old, he's probably the greatest generation.
He might have been the greatest generation. He was old, man. He was old as hell.
Yeah,
like, he go, I'm 33. I'm 33 right now. Just had a birthday.
If it was the 90s and he was 90, that means he was born around the turn of the century.
All right, because I'm about to say he died in the 90s. He died when I was young. So he died when I was probably like 6 or 7, some shit like that.
Why y'all asking somebody from Alabama?
They trying to figure out what generation he come from. I get where he come from. He probably was either that like solid generation, baby boomer generation, some shit like that.
But no, that's way before that.
I don't fucking know. I don't know them damn generations, man. Y'all keep trying to get me on Gen Z, Gen X. I don't give a fuck, man. What year was you born?
Well, that stuff is really kind of important to know the distinction between all the generations when you're talking about this kind of stuff.
More terms to put on people. Just say what years they were.
No, it's not a term. We're talking about age.
They're valid categories.
Well,
they're generations.
No, it's a label. It's a label.
It's a useful label.
It's not a label. It's a category.
Okay, category label.
Right, so we know what group of people you're talking about. It's valid. It's not under. It's because you don't know it. Because you don't know it doesn't mean it's not valid. It's valid. We're asking for a reason.
I'm saying that it's not valid. I'm saying
you did. You said I don't give a fuck. It's just a label.
I said because we need to get away from that. Just tell me when the person was born because we automatically think about it. You'll have a lot of people born between 80 and 90. 1980 and 1990, and you'll label them a certain type of group of people, and you'll say because certain people did shit within that generation.
No, that's not what we were saying. When we just like earlier when I said Generation Z, they're not children. They're 23 to age 8. So we know what group of the population you're talking about.
Oh, you should just say
we're not saying
exactly.
They have these particular characteristics. We just want to know what age range you're talking about.
No, just
say
what
objective.
age you're talking about. Just say what age.
But that's why we asked what generation.
That's why I say I don't care about generation. Well, you talking about with me, I couldn't tell you how old he was. So I get you on that. But we need to get away from them type of fucking labels, man.
No, we don't need. You need to learn them.
No, I don't need to learn Gen Z, Gen X, and none of that shit. Tell me when they were born. No, just tell me when they were born.
But that's what when you answer the question by telling us the generation.
I don't care about the terms. I'm the same way I pointed.
It's not a term. It's a category that identifies their age.
Okay,
that's all.
Real quick. Okay.
A term is black and white.
Okay, I'm gonna mute the fuck out of everybody real quick, like, because I don't know what the fuck y'all think this is a gauntlet trying to go through. The point that I'm making is I don't care about the label of Gen Z, Gen X, or any of that. Tell me they were born in the 50s. Tell me they were born in the 60s. Some shit like that. Now, do I need to learn the Gen Zs, Gen X? If y'all say so, yeah. But I don't care about that. Tell me when they were actually born. And that'll help me get a better understanding.
But what we're trying to tell you, Jay, is if you're wanting to have these types of intellectual discussions with people, it is important.
To what?
Yeah, and what's easier to say? Were you born between 1957 and 1963? Or were you boomer?
Just tell me what year you were born.
No, we're talking about categories of large groups of people. When comparing them with each other, you have to put them into categories.
When was the crack epidemic?
80s.
In the 80s? What part of the 80s? When did it start?
The mid to late 80s.
Mid to late 80s, like what year?
No, it actually started around 83.
83?
Yeah, that's mid to late 80s.
No, that's early. That's not mid. That's early.
Well, I consider 83 to 80.
It don't matter what you consider. It's 83.
Okay, now here you go.
No, what I'm saying, 83, 87 is mid 80s.
With that being said, what generation was born in the 80s? What generation would that be?
That would be Gen X or Gen Z.
Gen Z?
That would be
Yeah, Gen Z was the 80s. Yes, it was.
No, Gen Z.
Gen Z started in 1980 because Gen X was the last year.
Okay, Gen Z started in 97.
Never mind, you're right. The last year for Gen X was 84.
You're talking about X, I think.
You're right. The last year for Gen X was 84. You're correct.
Generation X.
So that would be
Generation X?
I'll be Generation X.
Okay, me and you in Generation X. Okay. Now,
you're not. He said 84.
He said in the 80s, Gen X is
84. No, the Gen X ended in 1984. It went from Gen X started from 19. No, I'm just trying to tell you. It started from, I believe it was 65 to 84 is the generation gap.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Let's work this out. So
no, I told you. Remember, I told you yesterday.
83, right?
Yeah, 83.
83. So they are a part of generation. Somebody tell me again. Which generation are they a part of? They crack epidemic. You say X? Was it X?
Millennials.
It's the tail end of Gen X and the beginning of the millennial generation. So technically, it's the micro generation called the Zillennials.
The people who were growing up in the late 80s were millennials.
Okay. So if we have this much confusion about Gen X and millennials,
you guys just don't know the years.
We just sat here and argued that shit the fuck down about what fucking generation, and all we had to do was say what year.
Yeah, but we don't even know.
It's pretty simple.
It's just, labels are there for confusion. Just the same reason I said that there are people that are
they're there for the opposite of confusion. Lumping all these groups in with each other is confusion.
Millennials weren't growing up in the late 80s. They were born in that age group. The ones who were growing up during that time was Generation X.
That's right. So so we get more clarification. See how complicated this shit is, man.
It's not.
Why don't we just?
It's only complicated when the wrong people are talking about it.
It's only complicated for you.
If you say so. All I feel is like you're complicating the issue that shouldn't be an issue.
I'm not having an issue with it. I don't think anybody else is having an issue with it, but you.
I think everybody else will figure it out. Grace said, Jay, knowing what generation gives the time frames lived in. Okay. Now here we go. I'm about to show you something because we were talking about crime. Remember when he kept, what's that guy name again? What was that guy name?
Gavin, I think he said his name was.
Gavin was talking about crimes. And we're talking about
Gavin
how...
McPenis.
Okay, look, I didn't say it, Gavin. He said it about you. I don't know you, but you seem
Fuck
like
Gavin.
a
I don't
lame
like
dude
that
to me.
bitch either.
I didn't. He rubbed me the wrong way. But
I think he makes
you could probably get him for an interview.
Claws.
I wouldn't want to get him over here. I'm not trying to build that type of following. But
make your point.
He was talking about crimes, and Candace was doubling up on crimes. So let's go to the FBI statistics on crimes, because it's one time we want to use, and I saw them do it in the conversation, because they were saying they agree with the FBI stats at one time, and then sometimes they disagree with the FBI stats. When it came to neo-Nazis, Gavin and Candace didn't want to agree. Mainly Gavin didn't want to agree with it. But then when it came to the FBI stats, when it came to crimes by certain certain races, then they wanted to go with it. So let's actually show these stats so people know what the fuck is going on. This is as of 2022, y'all. So these are by the numbers. If y'all need me to make it bigger, just tell me you need to make it bigger. Because
before you do that, what's the point?
No, we just gonna go down these stats.
What's the point? Why are you doing this?
The point's because I want to fucking do it. Is you good with it?
I'm trying to understand where we're going. That's all I'm trying to understand.
Because I'm going back to what we were talking about earlier. We got thrown off on generations and all that other woo shit. Let's actually show the percentages of stats when it comes to crimes committed in the United States.
These stats actually prove their point.
That's why we're going over.
I was going to say it actually.
We're about to go over them.
The reason I'm asking is because you take somebody like Tim Wise, who spent the last 20 years debunking this. It's just like if you look in schools and they're going to say boys are more violent than girls because boys get suspended at a higher rate. Mm-hmm. And so the conclusion is boys are more violent than girls, but we know that's not true. They're just not suspending the girls. Same thing in today. Men go to prison at a higher rate than women, right? But we know they don't prosecute women to the same degree as men. So you can't inherently say men are more violent than women, like with domestic violence. Well, we're not even, you have a whole half of the population that's not even being held accountable.
We're not distinguishing in this stat between genders. This is just by race.
I use that as an example. You can section genders out and make it black versus white.
Even with what he's saying there, there's a lot of these crime stats that go unreported.
So what Tim Wise has been saying for 20 years, he's written 4 books on this topic. You're more likely to be prosecuted for a crime, but even though white people are more likely to have committed that same crime.
But let me speak on this real quick. The issue with this, right? So we go off stats a lot of times. Logical people try to go off stats. But I think the biggest issue when those conservative or those type of conservatives or Republicans, whichever one they identify as, right? The problem is if you look at over history of time, black people have always been misrepresented by these numbers, right? So if you go fast forward, just like Israel said about women versus men, even Candace Owens says the same shit. So if we're going to actually talk about these numbers, don't use it just to benefit your argument. If we know damn well that when black people
numbers are wrong,
the numbers are not going to really add up. There's still going to be some bullshit in there. But Israel, hold on, that's what Jay is trying to explain in this. In my opinion, I may be wrong. Jay, correct me. But I think that's what Jay's trying to say is the same thing right now that I'm saying is when they say that about black people, and that's why I go back to what I say about certain conservatives that are black that they pick to put on the platform versus the black conservatives that could be Democrat, independent, or Republican. They don't put them on there that actually do work in the community. And that's the same thing that Cornell said is like, no, there are black people that they don't highlight. And Candace Owens and Gavin piece of shit ass, both of them a piece of shit. They do the same fucking shit. They punch down for a narrative because she was Democrat not too many years ago. So is she trying to make it seem like she woke up? No, they came and gave you a couple of dollars because a lot of Republicans was actually coming against her as well. But they wanted to use her as a black pundit. So the problem that we're having with these numbers...
define punching down.
I just did. Maybe you slow, so let me go ahead and rewind. when they pick those certain black
people, can you
people,
use another word for punching down just so he understands?
Yeah, because he acting slow right now. He know the fuck I'm talking about. But anyways, like I was saying, when they go ahead and pick those, when they go to those certain black people that they choose, all they talk about is black people being ignorant. All they talk about is black people being violent. But
they also talk about Democrats and the media.
Yeah, but
yeah, because in the same breath, all they talk about is white people being racist and white people, trying to hold everyone down. I mean,
exactly, it's the same fucking thing reversed. So hold on, let me finish real quick, Snowman. So Def can get it. When they pick those certain black people, they only talk about the bad things that's happening in black community, right? But they never pick the black people that are actually trying to do good things to reverse those same things that they're talking about. So all you doing is bringing light to the bad things to make those certain white people feel good that watch Fox News and don't actually use their fucking brains. So they try to go ahead and talk shit, mudslinging and all that. So what they end up doing is getting into the same thing that me and Snowman and everybody else is talking about. All they do is mudsling back and forth and nothing is getting done. That's why I did what I did with Snowman. I say, if I ask you this question and he said, well, hey, I would point you to somebody that's a local lawyer that's actually doing something and got a track record. They don't do that. They don't actually try to come to a fucking solution. They don't give resources.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it's circular argument.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just gonna keep making it, and then we're gonna move from argument to argument. So earlier they were talking about education, and some kind of way the conversation switched to the military-industrial complex within that same conversation. I'm like, what the hell are we talking about here?
Well,
we're talking about distribution of funds.
But no, we weren't talking about the distribution of funds for the whole country.
No,
because if that was the case,
he did that.
If that was the case, we could have brought up foreign subsidies. But that never gets brought up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
See what I'm saying?
And that's what I said.
Let me bring all y'all back. Bring all y'all back real quick, because the point of me bringing up these stats is the way that they try to portray stats. We already can say we can talk about the crimes that don't get reported. We can talk about this. Has nothing to do with sentencing right here. This has nothing to do.
What's this based on? The last census?
This is yes, sir. There you go. Last census.
All right. Thank you.
These are just percentages of the races that commit the crimes and what percentage of that race commits the crimes. Now, when you see the all offenses at the very top, y'all, it says 70% for white people.
And what percent of America reported as white?
Red, stop getting fucking triggered, man. God damn, because I'm
not triggered.
Then why the fuck you say something as soon as I said 70% white people?
I'm adding.
Don't add. I don't need nobody to add. I don't need nobody to help. We about to go through this. I'm trying to show something. Like when people say those crazy stats, they need to really look at the stats. Now, do they have a point when they're making a point and when they don't have a point? And that's what we're talking about right now. So 70% of all crimes committed by white people, 26% by black people, 26% by black people, 2% by American Indian, and 2% by Asian. They don't have Hispanics on here. I don't know why.
If I may touch on one thing though, real quick before you go further on that.
Okay.
If you do look at that, the percentage of of total black crime is still higher than the actual percentage of population.
Of the population, right?
Okay.
And
white
that,
is lower.
Is different than the white crime. The white crime is right on point with the population density of the white.
It's actually 5% lower.
Well, I will tell you this: there's more than 13% of black people in America, but
it's like 16 or 17%.
I'm about to say,
not 26.
I'm not taking away from. Yeah, it's not 26. I'm not taking away from that. So look, let's just keep going through the shit now, because the number one stat that they went to was the murder rate, non-negligent manslaughter. So they meant to kill the person. 46% for white people. 51% for black people, 1% for American Indian, and 2% for Asian. Okay, so now let's go to the other ones. They can't do great. They can't calculate it. Know why?
Yeah, you don't want to see those.
Who?
Well, they can't do that because of confidentiality shit.
I'm saying, what did you mean by that?
Anchorman, they actually can. Because if you look it up, other places you actually can find it.
Can
they? Yeah, they do have to report it, but it has to be anonymous.
Everybody, hold on. Red, what did you mean by that?
Well, maybe there might be some inconvenient information that would be given by that statistic. I don't know, kind of like the previous two statistics.
Versus numbers? What did you mean?
The same thing it could be the same as the 2 previous stats we just looked at, in that there is a disproportionality.
You think they're gonna protect black people or white people?
Insinuating black people raping more people.
I'm not saying they're protecting anybody.
Then what are you talking about? Please expound on that.
I'm saying you might not want to see that.
I didn't want nobody to gloss over that.
Yeah, I doubt that.
That was fucking funny, man. That was funny, Red. I was like, why did he say that? Red, you in the trigger mode right now. Calm down for a second, man. Let's see. Grace said you can't calculate a minority and a minority as a whole.
Majority.
The numbers just won't match up. Majority. Okay, I'm sorry. And okay, but are we calculating accusations or convictions? I think this is all convictions.
This is convictions.
This is all convictions. And how many are false convicted? We got a lot of people in jail that's falsely convicted. Yep. I will agree with you on that.
But before you even get to the court system, let's go like Tim Wise talks about. Are they even investigating other groups of people for certain crimes?
Nah, we already know.
No.
Let's see.
And that's why the stats. That's why the stats.
Maybe that's because
are so.
No, but see,
there's not as much homicide.
We keep bringing this up. Look. We're not. Me as a black man, I'm not arguing with the homicide rate.
Well, look. You know what group you don't see on here?
We're about to keep fucking going.
Yeah, he said that.
Hispanics are included in whites in the census.
They're not white though.
I don't think
they're
included. Are included.
Oh, that is the no. Yep. No.
They are.
Hold on.
No, because you got to think Spaniards
on this stat, I don't think
included
they're
in that
included.
when you actually listen.
No, in the census, whites are non-Hispanic.
Yeah, but I'm talking
non-Hispanic
white right here.
You got white Hispanic also. Yeah, no, but I see what you're saying, Jay. But they're right because I've seen these actual things when I fill the application for jobs and stuff. They have non-Hispanic whites.
And that means they're actually doing that to push a narrative about illegal immigration on this.
Okay. Look, besides all the side talk, y'all. Look, we got the murder and non-negligent manslaughter.
Watch that M word.
Non-negligent. All right.
I said M, not M word.
Murder's not a bad word, dude.
Yeah, we can say that.
Yeah, it's a flock of crows.
Either way, though.
I think he's talking about the algorithm.
Algorithm. I'm talking about algorithm.
People that got
you got to say red worm.
All right, look, we gonna get past this stat. Look, we gonna get past this. You went to great. We can't get any stats on that, even though we really can. Let's go to robbery. Black people commit 50% of the robberies compared to white people, 47%.
They're convicted, not commit. They're convicted.
Convicted. I'll say convicted. Let's make sure we keep this right. Convicted. All right. Let's go to aggravated assault. White people are convicted 62% of the time for aggravated assault. Black people 33%. American Indian 3%. Asian 2%. All right. So we think we got an aggravated assault problem. All right. Let's go to burglary.
American Indians should be lumped up with black people.
Okay. Burglary 69 for whites, 28 for blacks. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna stick on black and white because we ain't got no Indian and Asian people up in here right now.
Yeah,
anyways.
it's all 2 to 1%.
All right, motor vehicle.
What are you talking about, dude? I'm half American Indian.
Man,
I bet you are.
Man, let the man finish this.
No, I'm dead serious.
Hey, look, I bet he is. I bet he is.
No, he's Spaniard. But go ahead.
Motor vehicle thefts 70% for whites, 26 for blacks. Arson 73 for whites, 22 for blacks. Simple assault, 65 for blacks, 31 for whites. For blacks. 65 for blacks, 31 for whites. Forgery, counterfeiting, 69 for whites.
Said that backwards.
You said it backwards, bro.
Forgery and counterfeiting?
No. Simple
assault. Simple assault, 65 for whites, 31 for blacks.
There you go.
All right. I thought I said that.
No.
Either way, forgery and fraud, 69-28. Fraud. Now, when I say, I'm gonna just put the white people coming first, black people coming second. All right.
Yeah, a lot of these are white collar crimes that you're getting.
Exactly. Now here we go. Fraud, 66-30. Embezzlement, 60-37. Stolen property or receiving or possessing, 62-34. Vandalism.
Well, that's because we buy all our stolen property from the brothers, man.
Okay.
Hey.
No.
Well, even the white collar crimes are disproportionate.
Either way. Vandalism, 68-28. Weapons, carrying, possessing, 52-46.
Well, of course, man, because the thing is, a lot of black people still think they ain't allowed to have guns.
Oh my God, Jesus! Can I?
That's not what it is, no man.
Let
him finish.
This shit, man. Good God Almighty! Like, everybody getting.
Guys, there is one stat where whites are overrepresented.
Wait. I'm about to prove a guy. Look, I'm just proving the point right now.
Just go ahead and mute us all. Look, man.
No, this is the point. this is the point we're gonna be done with it, because we sit around here in America and demonize the fuck out of black folks for doing certain shit. But when you look at majority of these, okay, we don't care about simple assault. We don't care about forgery. We don't care about fraud. We don't care about embezzlement. We don't care about stealing property. We don't care about vandalism.
No, it's still disproportionate.
No. Hold the fuck up, because who the fuck is the number one people getting locked up for goddamn what? Who's getting targeted the most for fucking possession of stolen property? Who do you always hear being portrayed as?
You want to know who's being targeted?
No.
Most?
We talked about
it's disproportionate.
We talked about
the people that are targeted the most are people that are poor, dude. Let's keep it real.
No. We talked about the media, and every time they portray these things, when it
you want them to say black people, okay, black people.
No. When it comes to assaulting somebody, who they portray being the ones that most likely are going to assault you?
Black people, and they're overrepresented.
No. Let's be specific. Black men.
Yeah, that's probably most of it.
People. This is covering all black people.
No, what I'm saying is they like to play with the statistics and lump men and women together, but
they're doing that for each.
When you separate it by gender, the black man is the one that's actually overrepresented, and the black female is underrepresented.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Hey, Snowman, you said it earlier. What do you think the actual percentage of black people in America? Because I don't agree that it's
like 16, 17%.
It's like 14 to 17%. It fluctuates.
14 to 17. See, and I'll say it's probably, I'm actually closer to 20. I'll say about 18. I believe.
Okay, that's within the margin of error. What's the point?
Yeah, within the margin of error.
So what's the amount of black?
None of these black crimes are 20% or under, so they're overrepresented in every crime.
I'm about to hit you with one right now. Who's more likely to have drugs on them? By the media telling you. No, by the media telling you.
Oh, of course, black people, but
72 to 25.
Hispanics.
No.
Yeah,
that's
actually they're in the white people in this category.
Drug abuse,
but that's not what
violations.
Well, they're included in whites here.
Not as much.
No, I think he's just asking media.
They're not
how would the
included in
media?
whites, bro.
He would ask how the media. He's asking how the media portrays it.
Exactly.
All this portrayal in the media is portraying it like black people are the main ones out here doing this shit.
Of course,
and I'm not saying that to demonize no white folks at all. But we have to understand, when y'all talking about how the media does shit to divide us, this is another form of it when you actually look at their crimes. And I understand there are more white people.
Well, you're proving Snowman's point. You got to have
it's disproportionate.
You got to have this to keep the economy going.
No, Red, you said disproportionate to white folks.
How many black folks you know got locked up from drunkenness? This shit said 14%.
Dude, I know all kinds of white folks that have been locked up for it.
Yeah, that's the one statistic where whites are actually
white folks that got locked up for it.
Actually, no, that's still at 76%.
Because
what was the one that was 80?
I was locked up for it twice.
Driving under the influence.
And it was
driving under the influence. That's 81%.
Hey, was you fucked up, Snowman?
He was.
The one time, yeah, I was actually legitimately had no business being
all right,
there.
But see, all the stats should look like that.
All the stats should look like
corresponding.
But
driving under the influence.
Jay, go back down. It's now. What did Candace Owens say to Cornell about violent crimes?
Look, motherfucker said we commit 50% of the crimes. Obviously, we don't.
Exactly. She fucking lied.
Go back up.
No, violent crimes.
She said violent crime we do the most, and that was a fucking lie.
That's a lie. Now, if you talk about homicide rate, now if you want to go to homicide, like murder, negligent manslaughter, okay, yeah, you can get us on that.
It's the majority.
And actually, if you go down, if you look at the U.S. crime statistics,
motherfucker putting a pencil in your face and fucking you up. Who does it?
If you go to the Department of Justice and look at U.S. crime statistics, it says that the arrests per 1,000 people in 2020 actually went down by a little over 2,000 people.
Yeah,
but that's
the
skewed.
police were descaled.
Yeah, but
Tim Wise, he broke this down, and one of the reasons for this is because the police don't have any kind of standardization from department to department when tracking the demographics. There's no standardization.
But
and that was
my bad. Go ahead, Israel.
And that's what leads to a lot of these problems when you get into the stats that come from the police department. They don't keep good records as a group across the country.
And then when you got motherfuckers who is prejudiced, stereotype people, they're gonna fuck up the numbers and it's gonna be skewed. But that's the issue. In my personal opinion, from what I see, reading shit, besides just the stats, it's too much shit that's being reported different from what the stats are coming out. When you're saying that people that are actually trying to report what the real stats are and get information, the police are not working with these people.
Nope.
That
Well,
are
really
trying to get real numbers.
It's really hard to actually get online and find real statistics too. For
Yep.
And that's what Tim Wise was saying. He's like, a lot of this stuff is just you can't even utilize.
Because look, I'm right now online as we speak, currently looking, trying to find what the actual percentage of crimes by crime were committed. You know, like how many, what percentage of the crimes were murders by, you know, as a whole, what percentage of the crimes were assault as a whole, what percentage of the crimes were forgery as a whole, not by,
and then from jurisdiction to jurisdiction they have different terminology,
you know, and not break it down by white or black, but just by the crime itself. That way we can see, you know, how much this really plays out. I mean, because look, if you got, you know, 60% of the crime committed in America is violent crime, you know, is burglary, right, home invasion, things like that. And, you know, you're looking at forgery or arson is only 5% of the crime. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
But it's,
I help you out. Nah, I help them out.
Oh,
I help them out because they actually give you the option of doing that.
This whole conversation is stupid as hell.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna give it real quick. Like
no. Hold on. While you pulling that up, I'm just gonna say my piece, right? Because I've been quiet very much.
I thought you were doing something else, motherfucker. But go ahead.
No, I've just been listening to the shenanigans. No, overall, this conversation makes absolutely no sense, and the reason it makes no sense is because we can all agree that the statistics and the numbers that they provide aren't going to be 100% accurate. They're saying that they're based off of polls or they're based off of what is reported, but not all police precincts report. Not all police precincts govern or police the populace the same way. So we understand. Yeah, we understand that there's going to be a skew to the numbers and all that good stuff. The numbers really don't matter. What I want to get down to is how do we fix it? How do we fix the fact that the Black community is viewed this way? How do we fix that, you know, men are viewed in a certain way? How do we fix the fact that, you know, all these things are going on? Like, we can keep talking about, you know, all the things that is and how, what people believe. Hey, listen, if you want to fix the fact that all people...
So you got to go back. We've had this conversation before, and you got to go back to the root cause of the problem. And I brought up Dr. Claude Anderson's 5 levels. We always want to jump to the second and third level in these conversations, but we don't stay on the ground floor, which is family. You gotta fix the family problems, because when you go back prior to 1970, these problems were flipped. So where did the problem occur? In 1970. And we talk about it loosely, the Monahan report, Monahan scissors, and the various reports. We talk about that, but we don't talk about the solutions in regards to that. Because why? Because that would mean you got to hold Black women accountable. And the Democratic Party doesn't want to do that.
Listen,
they don't want to do that.
The Democratic Party doesn't make any sense right now. Up until the 1960s, before the 1960s, everybody was voting Republican. And if you looked at the marital rates as far as the Black community versus every other community, we beat them out.
We were like 90%.
That we're 85. It's like fluctuated between 85 and 87%. At that point in time, less than 20% of children were born out
illegitimately.
So that's where it's just like, well, what did we have at that point in time that we no longer have now? Or what did we not have at that time that we now have at this point in time? Or not, that's been the big change. Now, I know that No. It's not even just the military. It's really not the militarized police force. I'm gonna be honest with you. The police force plays a smaller role than you believe. I think that the biggest issues would be the welfare portion of it.
Correct.
Would be the feminism movement.
Correct.
Would be now if you want to go into the policing. If you want to go into the policing portion, you would say that the drugs that flooded the market and them selectively targeting men, not women, as far as arrest and everything to remove them from the homes. And then also, when it came to welfare, they also had the no man in the house clause. All these things played a role.
And that's what I was saying earlier. We talking about turning our educational system over to the government. That's the problem.
I don't believe
that's
so.
the problem.
I don't believe
so. But the government is the one who's pushing the same academics that's being taught right now, and our kids right now are coming home from school
and they're failing.
Hold on. Listen. Academically, in the United States, we are slipping year over year. We're slipping further and further academically. I understand that in Alabama. I understand that in Alabama, you know what I'm saying, it's not really as noticeable because it's always been bad. But in general, as a whole,
one more motherfucker say something about Alabama education system. Because the sad part is Alabama don't have the worst education system around.
It doesn't.
But it's like
you guys don't make the bottom 5. Yeah, they don't make the bottom 5 though. They've been going back and forth between the bottom 15 and the bottom 10. So, anyways.
Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
But no, he's right. On average, the reading rate, the reading level of men in this country is like 4th grade.
Yeah, it's been dropping. It's been dropping year over year. But what I'm saying is this, right?
The level of men has always been low.
No, it hasn't.
No, it hasn't.
No, I'm not saying it's always been 3, but I'm saying women have always had a higher education than men.
No,
but that's not the argument.
What's the argument? Like,
the argument that men are underperforming worse and worse from generation to generation.
Yeah, but
has nothing to do with women. We're not talking about what women are doing. We're talking about what the men are doing.
I agree that it has dropped for men, but men have not been. Hell, a man does not make his goal in what fucking grade he got on a fucking test. Bill Gates dropped. How many people are billionaires? And I understand that these are exceptions. But how many men have gone into trade schools, dropped out of college, and made their living? Majority of men don't have college educations.
We're talking about
Hold on. Pause it. Here, Jay. I got one for you, right?
Hit me with it.
Will you go to the youth of America today and tell them that they should drop out of school because they're going to become billionaires? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so that right there, you talking about an exception, or the case may be, is literally moot point. Because we're not talking about the exception. We're not talking about people who stumbled upon greatness or stumbled upon, being successful and so on and so forth. What we're talking about is the fact that in general, when our communities, whether it be white, black, or anything else, when our communities focused on building our individual communities, we were better off. And that's what we need to get back to, is building our individual communities. Our education system right now is predominantly run by women, and it's government structured
and they standardize everything. Yep.
Yeah, it's government.
And that started in the late 80s.
All of the government programs are all ran by women.
And this is why you have children now who in my day and age, and I'm saying it like I'm old, but I'm not. But in my day and age, like literally, we never even had conversations about LGBT and all this other stuff. We were just, hey, I like you. Do you like me? Check this box for yes. Check this box for no. You know what I'm saying?
We were having debates on TikTok about body count at 17, 18 years old.
Exactly. It wasn't a thing, right? And it wasn't until we got older that those things started to matter. But now, the sexual revolution, all these things that are happening are trickling into younger and younger years. So you got kids who are in elementary school talking about, hey, I know I was born a girl, but I think that I should have been a boy. And it's just like, wait a minute. First off, I believe personally that these people should be out of their parents' house before they make that decision. Like, absolutely, they should have an actual childhood. They should actually be allowed to be children, learn about the world, and do all these things, whatever the case may be.
And the government is pushing these regulations.
Well, there's
there's
a big trans movement that actually backs up and believes the same thing Death Note's talking about.
Yeah, they're pushing it in schools right now, and especially
No,
here in
what I'm saying,
Atlanta.
no, definitely. What I'm saying is there's a big part of the trans community that's starting to rise up that's against all the pushing of the trans and LGBTQ stuff in school. That they're actually siding with
But
the
it's still
parents.
it's still a small voice with that. But right now they got their foothold and they're trying to run with it because they understand that it's going to do a lot more damage and push them more towards where they're trying to go, that end goal that they're trying to reach.
But
So
do you realize that it's not just the government, it's certain people in the government that we don't call out when we find out certain dudes like what's the dude? He from my state. I forget his name.
Are you talking about that official that got elected who was a child molester?
No, and be careful about that word. But
no, I'm just saying there was one out in California that got elected, and he was
okay. He's not from California. He's from Florida.
No, he's from Florida.
Oh, is he?
His name was, y'all neck of the woods. Ugh.
He was and it started with an A or something like that. But he got found out in Miami that he was messing with dudes, but he was supposed to be married.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me finish. The biggest issue is that we have people like that hiding, right? And part of certain people from that community, whether they're the T's or the G's or B's, right? Their thing is they're having issues with people hiding who they really are. And I think that is the truth. Like, remember, if you old enough to remember back in the early 90s, late 80s, we had this download syndrome. You know what I'm saying? We had the download thing. And the problem was...
You got to expand on the download thing.
You know, guys that came from the LGBT community that was actually living that life, but they was quietly living that life.
Oh, I got you. They were in the closet still.
In the closet still, right? So what happened was a lot of those people, and this is the old school mind frame, no matter where you come from, you can say the white sheets dressing in blue suits or black people, whatever, right? Their mind frame was keep your head down, keep working till you can change something. What it is a lot of these people are jumping in to politician positions and they're making those changes. So it's not just because think about it, it's certain people that couldn't get amendments on the floor. They couldn't get bills passed, but certain bills are getting passed. It's not just the government, it's certain people of the government. And like, shout out to Dame Dash from Rockefeller. He always said this. Don't just say certain people. Don't just say this. Make it like a boogeyman thing. We got to start actually calling people out by their fucking names, because until we do that, it's going to keep happening. So it's not just the government, it's certain people that are in the government that have power to do these certain things. And that's why they secretly back certain people that are making these movements. If you look at Tierra Mack, if you look at you good, Israel. If you look at Tierra Mack from Rhode Island and what she did, she's out there with those people and doing parades and all that.
Talking about the torture?
Yep. But she only deals with women. So they get out there and they get the movements behind them by getting support. So it's not just the government, because you got to realize people are in the government. So until we start actually calling these people out by name, it's going to keep continuing. So it's not just the government, it's actual certain people.
It's not that. I think that people need to really start voting based off of policies and policies alone. That's the reason why Stacey Abrams lost, is not because of the fact that she was black or she was a woman or black men didn't vote for her. 94% of black men voted for her. I wasn't part of that 94%, but anyways, 94% of black men voted for her. And the biggest thing is that her policies just didn't fit with Georgia. It might have fit with Atlanta, it might have fit with DC, Baltimore, or any of these Democratic run cities, but it doesn't fit with the entirety of the state of Georgia. It's never going to work. We believe in our guns and so on and so forth, and her policies on guns and all of this shit is, Anyways, neither here nor there. I think that we need to stop talking about well, I was going to say, I think we need to stop talking about the minorities like they're majorities. And right now we need to get back to doing what we need to do. Honestly, the whole conversation about LGBT and all that good stuff, if I meet somebody in public, I'm just like, listen, I don't care if you think that if you look like a female, you're wearing a dress and all that good stuff, and it's obvious that you're a woman, But you talking about, hey, you want to be called he, him, and all that good stuff, I'm still gonna call you she, or the case and be. And if you get offended, it is what it is. Now, if you're a friend of mine, it's very rude to not do it, obviously, right? But but to ask me to do that in my day to day, it's not gonna happen. I think that we need to start getting back to common sense, and that we need to stop treating the vast minority as if they're the majority. I understand we want to be inclusive and provide people the ability to live in their truth and whatever the case may be. And I hate that term, their truth or my truth.
That's why I
stuff
say
like
my
that.
truth ain't manly.
Yeah, so I hate that term, but yes, they should be able to live without persecution and things of that nature. However, I don't believe that I need to change my entire life to be able to accept them. I should accept them as human beings, but whatever happens in their bedrooms, I don't care. I don't care that they want to wear makeup. I don't care that they want to suck a dick. Excuse my language. I don't care that they want to
push
do
it on my kids.
No, what I'm saying is I don't care what they want to do in their bedroom, but keep it in your bedroom.
Well,
Don't say.
Well, let me ask you this note. Then, what do we have to do? Because that's why I did that scenario with Angry Man. It was Angry Snowman. Sorry,
you're good.
That's why I did. That's why I did that example. Is because I think what's missing is the fact that we don't talk about resolutions. Right? I get what you're saying, but the problem is when you say that, bring resolutions, bring what information we can have on going after resources to make change. So my question to you is, what do we do, and what are you doing in your life so that's actually, you know what I'm saying, an actual staple or something that's tangible that we can actually be like, all right, you know, that makes sense what he's saying, that makes sense what Snowman is saying, Op is saying, and what JVJ is saying.
What am I doing in my personal life?
Yeah, and I don't. You ain't got to go too specific. What I'm saying, what it is that we can network together, what we can do to use resources interchangeably.
No, I mentor young men. I talk at talks. I actually host a few talks a year where I actually deal with the youth. And when I say youth, I'm not talking about like, preteens and stuff like that. I'm talking about people who are later in high school and college and stuff like that, where I'm actually having talks and we're going sit downs and we're, having a cigar or we're talking about alcohol and what it means to actually be a man. Doing these different things and talking about, them focusing rather it be on a lot of the social media stuff and all that good stuff, but actually focusing on building themselves. There's a lot of things that I do in the community.
What about resources?
Resources galore. Right now I'm actually going to be starting. I'm going to go ahead and drop the ball. One of the things that I've been working on for a little bit, I have 5 backers right now, is here in Atlanta. I'm actually going to be starting a nonprofit, and the nonprofit is to serve homeless men and provide men services as far as mental health, as far as laundering service for homeless men, food and things of that nature. We have tons of women's shelters around the United States, but we have nothing for men. So I've been working with
there's
mingling
actually
and
one,
working
but
with
mad respect, dude.
No. What I'm saying is there's tons for women, but there's not many at all around the United States for men.
For men, yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying
around
is
the
there's
United
actually
States.
only one men's shelter in the United States. One.
I think it's now 2.
There's 7. There's 7.
Oh, it's not 7. Okay.
Yeah, it's 7. But no, there was one, and that was as of 2019 or 2018. But since then, a few have actually opened up. So there's 7 right now, and I'm doing my due diligence or whatnot. That's the reason why I know it's 7. They're smaller. Co-op type shelters, but I'm planning on opening up something because men need the mental health. Men need the assistance. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually we want to get to the point where we say, hey, listen, those guys who would lose everything because they missed one child support payment, and this is a one-time only gig, rather than going to jail. Because here in Atlanta, if you miss a child support payment, you go to jail, you lose your license and all this other stuff, which means that you lose the ability to work and all that and everything else. But we understand that emergencies happen. So what we want to do is we want to say, hey, listen, one time only, we understand an emergency happened. we'll make your child support payment for this month. So that way you don't have to go to jail, but you can still go to work. You don't have to get your license suspended. You don't have to get your registration revoked. You don't have to go to jail. You don't have to deal with all these things that come from missing one child support payment here in the state of Georgia.
Yeah,
so
you already know we from Florida. They do that same thing here too.
yeah, so that's actually what I'm working on right now. I have a few companies actually who have stepped up to the plate and saying that they're willing to donate. Right now, I'm working on trying to find a building. I have volunteers already. I've been doing the legwork. I've been doing so much, and that's also a part of the reason why I haven't been as active here on the show. I had family issues, but I also had this going on that I'm trying to really get off the ground because I'm passionate about it. So it's one of those things. It is what it is.
And one more quick question: what about the youth?
So as far as the youth, I'm dealing with those youth who are about to transition into college, or the ones who are already in college. And I'm talking to them about business. I'm talking to them about success and things of that nature. Trying to get their minds off of just fucking. Because once you go to college, you think that based off of American Pie and all the other movies that you've watched, that's all it's about. But one of the things that I wish that I had learned when I was younger was that, hey, if you focus on yourself, the women will come. You might not necessarily get the woman that's your age. You might get somebody who's younger. But at the end of the day, as long as you focus on yourself, you focus on your mission, focus on your path, then everything else will fall in place. And that's what I'm teaching these men to understand, or young men to understand.
And you know what? I agree with you because, like I said, I got background in that, and I noticed that, especially for us, and I'm not mad at that. If these people have actually been through something, yeah, you got to show them something tangible. Because if you don't, they're like, get out my face, which ain't wrong. They're not wrong for that. Because if they're doing something that's actually taking care of them and putting food in their stomach, clothes on their back, money in their pocket, and a house over their head, you can't be mad at them. You can't say all the time, oh, if you do this, you'll feel good. They're like, no, I'm in a situation right now that I need to do something. So I get that. And that's why I was bringing those type of things up. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I definitely agree with you. We don't want to just keep wasting conversations, but I appreciate Jay for bringing this up because I do the same thing, bringing these things up from time to time, because if we don't actually talk about this, and as God bless me to get older, it's better for us to actually bring resources, because there's not going to be change if we had these conversations and don't provide that information that we need. Is there a way that we can work together? Is there a way that what? Anyways, so if there's not a way that we can't do this and actually provide these resources and do something versus talking trash, then that's all we're gonna get is trash cans. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate what you said, Note, because we actually do have to keep doing our best to get to the conversation. Shout out to you, Jay, because we gotta have these tough conversations. Fuck Glock Germany, because they probably ain't doing shit in their community. We brothers over here having this conversation and actually trying to do something, because if we don't, all we're gonna do is have synthetic G talking shit. But if we don't have nothing to provide what we actually doing, then she can keep talking shit. But fuck her at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't know who this is. Gawk. Got that
Gawk. Germany. They got Down syndrome.
Black men. Low IQ black men. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Like Redman said, I'll be that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm keeping my low IQ ass away from you. There you go.
If that's low IQ, then yeah, that's what we are. Because we actually talking about solutions versus just talking about hating each other. We can sit here and have conversations with different brothers from different cultures, nationalities, races, and all that, and actually try to come up with some kind of real solutions versus just shitting on everybody, whether people like it or not. When Jay talk about certain things with women or any one of us, but we actually talking about solutions, we actually doing better than them. So if you actually want to be led by somebody, you gonna fall in line. That's where the line is at. Where you at?
Well, real women want to be led. The new age women want to run shit.
And then get mad when you don't lead them. Ain't that a bitch?
I ain't really tripping off of that shit, man. Look, them goofy hoes, I ain't tripping off of them. But like, look, I'm gonna do another live stream where we just literally, I'm gonna just pick some topics, write them down. We're gonna go through them, at least 4 of them at a time. And we're gonna start talking about solutions on, like, how can we bring our minds together on trying to fix shit. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I don't like these nonprofits. Just being honest with you, just throwing that out there right now. But I really don't see another way to get to some solutions without having them around. So that's going to be an issue. So I got to think on that a little bit longer. But we're going to try to get together and poll some solutions when it comes to each and everybody's community as America as a whole. We do a black one when it's just black folks talking about the black community, because we look. They need to just go ahead and make a law that you can't have a baby unless you married.
Whoa, they try to do that. You need to look at your history books, but yeah, they try to do that. That didn't go over that well.
I bet it wouldn't go over that well right now either.
I would say at least if you do that, right? Say if they still want to give.
Well, if you have a baby and you're not married, you don't get any government assistance.
No, hold on. Wait.
They try to tie that in the 1960s to the actual thing, but at the end of the day, they saw that it wouldn't work, and so that's where they came out with, that deal saying no man in the household in the 1960s, because they actually tried to say that, hey, you have to establish fraternity before you can get welfare and so on and so forth. But they actually removed that clause in the 1960s to make sure that they can have a wider audience as far as welfare.
But you got to also throw in there what ended up happening, because Synthetic G talks about this shit. What she didn't, because Jay covered this. She talked partially about, black women fought to have black men. No, they fought to have dick come over on the weekend. Remember that, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
They fought to have dick come through on the weekend, because if you actually look at it, that's what it says. They can't have domicile there. They can have somebody come visit on the weekend, and then he got to get the fuck missing. But when you look back at the 1935, and then you look at when they had a situation with them fighting in the war and all that stuff all the way up to Vietnam, what ended up happening with the Monahan report was talking about they looked at every other community, they was going up. As black employment for men, unemployment went down, we're the only community where our women went up in numbers for this. And when I did the show Sunday, talking about the fact that women post-slavery black women was getting to the bag, but then you have somebody like Synthetic G talking about, no, we had to because y'all wasn't providing. No, we just was not the same people that put y'all through the same shit that white women went through at this time, or certain white women tried to have this whole fight bullshit talking about, we're getting oppressed. No, y'all was just, hey, don't sweat your pretty little hair out. We got it covered, and they didn't want that. So it's shit is real deep, and it's so sad that our women fell for the banana in the tailpipe.
Well, that's never been a thing for black women. I mean, for white women, yeah, I understand the whole feminist movement and all that good stuff, but for black women, it was never a thing. Black women had to work just as much as black men, because we couldn't survive off of a 2-income house. I mean, we couldn't survive off of anything less than a 2-income household in most instances.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Because at this situation, like I did with the video, I talked about the fact that actually we could, but the thing was, when it came to oppression at this time, post-slavery, Jim Crow and all that, redlining, Reconstruction, actually we could survive off just one income, like you brought up earlier when it came to what black men was doing. And the 60s was the last prolific time that was actually a thing. But the thing was, we didn't oppress our women like they said white women got oppressed by their men, their fathers, their brothers, their husbands, and all that. Because guess what? We was doing better than them at this time, especially all the way to a redlining situation. Because when we was left alone, that's the only one. Matter of fact, anybody can disagree with me, but when you do the history, you'll see what I'm talking about. When it comes to redlining, our biggest issue wasn't us fighting against each other. It was when we decided, and you can look this up with Tulsa, Oklahoma. We decided to go from Oklahoma to St. Louis to Louisiana, any other black places in these states. We wanted to have railroad tracks so that we can go back and forth between black cities. They wasn't with that shit. And the biggest problem with Republicans then, when something happened, our cities got burnt down, they didn't do shit. Now Democrats come in and act like they had our backs. That's where we got tricked all the way to the 60s with MLK, rest in peace. And like I told you plenty of times, he had to realize he was wrong. The thing that we should have asked for when we were conservative independents, was the same thing that Asian community got, and I ain't got no problem with them, because I'm gonna do a show on that when they actually try to make it like Asian people take what they take, disrespect, but they still happy. No, because the fourth generation of Asians are pissed off. I'm gonna do a show on that tomorrow. They are fighting against that. What we should have did was fought for the same thing that they got, was the hate bill and all that, the crime hate bill, so we can stay separate. And that's what the NY Malcolm X times was talking about. And Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, rest in peace. That's what they was talking about. Give us our own shit. Give us our respect. We doing what we're supposed to do. Why you trying to separate it? And that's what ended up happening. Is like we was doing good. So that was the biggest issue.
Hey, I got something for you, and this is gonna be something for a future show. But here's my admission. I do believe that black people should have accepted partial segregation rather than full desegregation. Oh yeah. Now I have my reasons. I
just said it. I just broke down why. Go ahead.
Yeah. You with me? But I know a lot of people right there out there be like, it's kind of fucked up. But when I explain why behind everything, a lot of people be like, that makes sense. So I'm willing to have the conversation. Obviously, this is not a time for today because we're already at 3.5 hours. So yeah.
But yeah, if you come through tomorrow. I'm gonna cover, like I said, the whole redlining situation. Come through tomorrow if you can, Death Note.
Hey, check this out. I'm just gonna share something with you guys real quick.
You drew that today?
This is something that I've been working on for a buddy. It's a portrait of his daughter that passed away.
You drew that?
Yeah.
They did a good job on that. Yeah, it actually is. And you still working on it, I see you.
I've been working on it for like a month.
Hey, at least it's better than when I saw some lady brought her a picture that her husband drew of one of their grandkids in there. And I was like, why he draw that baby like he's got Down syndrome? She was like, what are you talking about? I was like, let me see a regular picture of the baby.
A picture of her, actually.
Well, see, that's how you got to do it, man. You got to have that image in front of you, man.
Yeah, I constantly look at the image. I'm using that. You have to have the reference. But yeah,
I throw the baby off a lot. Yeah, that's really good, man. And when you get the eyes right, everything else falls into place.
Yeah, I just started working on one eye because she was creeping me out with only having the eyes are usually the last thing I do, but for some reason she was creeping me out by not having no eyeballs.
Yeah, you might want to. Yeah, I'm glad you put some eyeballs on there. I know you're still working on them.
Yeah.
Man, look, he looked like he run over deers on the weekend in his monster truck.
Hey man, all I got to say about deers and squirrels and rabbits is don't think I'm going to stop.
Tell them get her done. I ain't gonna hold you, man. Look, y'all, we have grinded out tonight. Actually, this conversation went a lot longer than I actually expected it to go. So that was a good thing. And we're gonna keep trying to have more and more of these conversations because we had some tense points, we had some back and forth for a little bit, but one thing y'all saw on here that we didn't have no all-out fucking arguments, even though we disagreed on different points. So we need to learn to start having more and more of these type of conversations because
I ain't gonna lie, I questioned whether or not I wanted to jump on the panel or not.
I thought you were still mad at me.
No, I get over it after a while.
Yeah, 2 months later. 2 months later, man, you mad at me.
Well, dude, my channel got struck down, so I didn't have you popping up in my algorithm either anymore.
Yeah, that kind of messes you up, man. I'm not even going. I'll talk to you offline about all that in the bag of chips. But look, we gonna get the fuck up out of here. I'm gonna go around the panel real quick. Like Def Note, I know you don't have a channel. Matter of fact, no, you do got something you can tell them about. Def Note, what you got for the folks, man? What can they find you at, sir?
Man, we're not gonna talk about. Oh wait, you wasn't talking about the fact that I be in the gaming system because I haven't done it in a while. But anyways, but nah. So you guys can find me on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, we talk about sports. It's primarily football right now, especially the NFL. Next season, we're going to be talking about, college football as well. Later on this year, we're also going to be talking about basketball. The reason why we're not getting into college football right now is because Alabama is getting their ass whooped. So we're not going to talk about that.
I'm there for basketball.
So we're gonna get.
Who won the Ohio State Michigan game?
Every Tuesday at 8:30, you can stop by for sports talk. This is not sports talk night, so I'm not answering your question.
Eastern time, Central time, 7:30 Central time.
Nobody cares about Central time, so.
Man, that's what time I'm on, so I operate off of that. But yeah, man, if y'all come over to J Talk Sports, you can actually find it through the regular channel right here. I'll have them linked both together. Y'all come over there, man. We have good, but actually, no bullshit. That shit actually is getting more and more fun the further the season is going, and I'm ready to get it towards basketball. So that's gonna be interesting. Next up, we got the Angry Snowman. Sometimes I call him Anger Man. Tell them where to find you at, and after I'm going to op.
Well, you can find me on YouTube on the Angry Snowman 2 channel. Also, you can find me making appearance on the Real Greg Kelly Show YouTube channel. You can also find me on if you go on and type in www.Real Cold Facts podcast. Well, actually, it's realcoldfacts.com. You can actually go and catch the first 7 episodes of our live podcast that me and Greg Kelly have done. Actually here probably by the first of the year, we plan on taking and merging both channels together and migrating it all to the Real Cold Facts. So be on the lookout for that.
All right,
black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and
I'm
black,
sorry,
y'all.
I had to do blacker than black, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black. Listen, this your boy out from the north, 18. Y'all don't play with it. I keep it real, keep the facts. I fuck with real people. That's why I'm over here at the JVJ Network. Stop playing, subscribe, hit the like button, share, because we talking that real spill and we don't discriminate. We have real conversations. But at the same time, make sure y'all go check me at Op from the North 18 right here. Op means opposite from the normal. 18, the number 18. So don't look at me talking about like I'm an op. This been the page name before y'all outside of Chicago knew what the hell op means.
Yeah, still seems like an op to me.
Yeah, I'm opposite from the north. So if you got a problem with it,
black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
You feel what I'm
saying? If you were really black, you'd have some Belle Biv DeVoe or a Tribe Called Quest playing.
You got to take BBD out because Tribe, I can do Tribe. I can respect that, Snowman. I can respect that. Tribe. But BBD, I don't fuck with bitches who poison. Anyway, like I was saying, come fuck with me over at Out from the North 18, the number 18. Keep it real all the time. I'm pro-black, but I'm not anti-everything else. That's real shit. So fuck with me. And tomorrow night, God willing, I know Def Note and JVJ don't like it. My bad, I'm gonna say LGBT.
I was about to say, I was like, who you talking about? I was like, who is he talking about?
Your gay ass.
No, sir.
Anyways, come fuck with me tomorrow night, Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not Central.
Don't say Eastern. Just say Eastern.
Eastern.
I was thinking about Easter,
Just say Eastern. Just say Eastern one time.
Eastern?
Thank you. That's how you say it.
Like I'm from Alabama.
No, it's not Eastern.
It's coming from the guy that said, what was it? Day downtowns or fucking.
I don't fucking remember, man. Look, dude, I can't remember the name of it. I couldn't remember it.
Make sure
Sundown
y'all
Town.
come through tomorrow at 8 p.m. EST time. I got a
Eastern.
great show for y'all, and it's gonna be on that article I keep saying since last Sunday. The article, The Color of Money, talking about redlining. Def Note, make sure you bring your black ass over there tomorrow, because you're darker than
Eastern.
me. All right.
Eastern.
Color of Money tomorrow.
Thank you everybody for their contribution to the channel tonight. It is Eastern, not Eastern, but y'all make sure y'all go over there and check my boy out from the North 18 tomorrow. He's gonna be on here tomorrow. Oh my god, this motherfucker, he love that shit. When he load that shit in, he done play that shit more times than we done played the intro. But besides that, look, man, I appreciate everybody that came through tonight. I got the link in there if y'all want to come to the after chat. That's up for y'all. Hey, maybe Gawk. I don't know how to fuck say that shit. Jeremy wants to come and explain.
Hey, maybe the neo-Nazi out there can come up and explain why he's a fucking racist neo-Nazi douchebag.
Yeah, probably because of how he was raised, but you know, you never know.
I'm actually really interested in finding out because, you know, I'm a white dude.
You don't know nothing about that?
You know, so I'm trying to figure out why you're a low IQ white dude.
Well, I'm a low IQ black dude.
You know, I'm trying to figure out, did your mom drop you on your head one too many times? I mean, did she carry you? Were you born a stillborn? Well, no, you couldn't have been a stillborn because that would have been too young to put the paddles on you and bring you back to life. Were you a botched abortion? You know, and it caused brain damage.
Well, you know how that normally goes, man. All these different terms that we have for people, the way they carry themselves, these shits are taught. Natural, like you put a black kid and a white kid together when they kids and they get along, be best fucking friends.
My son's best, my redheaded fucking son, 7 years old, Ginger. When we lived in Muncie, his best friend was a black kid.
Yep,
best friend.
Stop the most of my well, I ain't gonna say well.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. That kind of shit is what warmed my heart, was seeing that kind of stuff. You know, seeing young kids at that age that they don't even see color and race and, you know,
they see
all
color.
that stuff.
No, they
really
color.
no, they really don't.
No,
Dude, seriously, dude. When you watch kids interact
color.
No, dude, not the same way we do.
No. They don't know about all the stereotypes that have been pushed onto everybody else.
Racism is learned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these kids, they see color. They know between black and white. When
I say color, I'm talking about the way you and I see color.
Yeah, we see color because it was taught to us.
Yeah, but it's an innocence when they see each other, though.
Right, man, and it's a pure innocence, man. And they don't see all the hate and bigotry and stereotypes that come along with everything that we've been taught. And that's the thing, is you realize when you see that for the first time, that innocence, just how much that we, the parents of these kids, are the ones that actually push this shit on them and ruin their childhood.
Piece of fucking shits we can be.
Yeah, it's always gonna come down to the parents.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because I was trying to like sign up out of here. I don't say what's up to my boy Sports Talk with Rob. He said, "What up, though?"
Black y'all, and I'm
chill.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to point out that the gay Germany dude.
It's probably a girl.
I just had to give my opinion on it. You know, being that I was white, I figured I had the right to speak on it.
Hey man, you good, man? Get it off your chest, man. Look, it just
because for me, it's people like that make white people look bad, and I'm tired of it.
Nah, that's actually probably a black lady.
You're probably right. It's probably Cynthia G.
Her last name might be Germany. Ain't no telling. No, either way, man, those are just bitter bitches.
Wouldn't that be crazy if she was cucking her drug dealer boyfriend with a white boy?
Probably would be. Let me see my girl Grace. Before we get up out of here, Grace says some of us will cross them lines. Jay, remember, I'm a black man posing as a white. Oh yeah, that is true. Somebody called her a black. You need to get your black ass out of here, Nick. It's like I'm a white woman. Well, I'm kind of mixed with some other things. like that shit was funny, Grace. Comment section, like I got to the point now where I'm just not even like them people. Just look, man, you hate your life. It's all right. I got you. Stay over there. But look, man, for a
hot pocket,
like real shit, man. For everybody, hold on. I'm gonna get my boy Rob up in the building real quick, like so he can let y'all know where to find him at. Rob, I don't know how much you saw, but give me your final thoughts on the show, and then let them know where to find you at too.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was just here for the backstage, but I ain't see shit yet. But
Well, goddamn, you want me to drop? Here, tell them where to go find you at though.
oh yeah, What We Know podcast. You know what I'm saying? Have a show every week, and yeah, sports talk with Rob as well. So,
well, you can find me in your mama's bedroom.
Who?
I'm just saying, Pete, the listeners can find me in their mama's bedroom.
This
So if they really want to come and
Rob, don't pay attention to that. We
look.
assholes over here.
You should have been here that night that Snowman said some shit about Kobe Bryant. That shit went left real quick, bro. But look, y'all.
Nah, I'm about to say, don't talk about. I thought you talking about me, like what's that?
He said who?
I wasn't talking about anybody's mom in particular, man.
All right, look, here we go. Look, fuck all that shit, man. Fuck all that shit. Look, y'all, I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. This shit was amazing. We gonna be doing it again tomorrow. Op from the Norm 18 gonna be hosting the show. When I catch y'all, I drop regular videos whenever it is, but we need to have more and more of these conversations, man. And we need to come together and have a legit conversation, not with any bias, and just try to understand the other motherfucker where they coming from. Whether you agree or disagree, it is what it is. Because we're not gonna agree with anybody 100% of the way. So if we can come into a conversation with that mindset, I think we can actually get some shit done, because the powers that be want us down here fighting like fucking ants. We're a bunch of fucking working ants, and they want us constantly fighting each other. When we start to unite and get together, dude, we can change some shit. And I know that sounds like some shit they'll play at the end of a movie or a goddamn video game, but it's true. It is what it is, man. Watch Naruto if y'all don't know nothing about that. But we gonna get the fuck up out of here, man. I appreciate all y'all. And on the count of 3, like we always do. On the count of 3, y'all. Everybody ready? Can I get everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm just put it like that. On the count of 3, we're gonna get up out of here. 1, 2, 3.
Peace.
Hey, look.
Women bring forth life. Men plant the seeds. Okay?
And right.
So,
if you want, man, I remember I used to go out with I used to take an ugly chick out with me on purpose.
Ugly bitch.
Get other chicks.
A lot of these women choose men who are weaker or choose men who are fuckboys and then complain about the very same attributes.
Doing something. You gotta be careful. Why the remote clicking past it was right. Trying to steal another idea. Stealing another idea. Tell the truth.